What is up, Super Fam and Brovengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. Yo, how is everybody doing today? I am doing lovely. I hope you guys are. It's Taco Tuesday, as my wife would say. Oh, my bad. 1 second. Gotta turn this light on. That's my bad. There we go. Sorry, had to get that light on right there. It's usually on. But yeah, yo, it's Taco Tuesday, as my wife would say, and today we are gonna be doing something a little different, and we're gonna be ranking all 16 projects in Phase 4 of the MCU. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I think I like Phase 4 more than most people, and I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but I really do like Phase 4. I think that they've done a pretty good job with Phase 4, with, everything that, happened, like COVID going on, and the loss of Chadwick Boseman, and there was just a lot of stuff going on over there at Disney and just in the world as well during the making of Phase 4, and also during the release of Phase 4. Let's be honest, like, even when movies were coming out, there was like scares of lockdowns again, and just a lot of things that were going on. Like during that whole time, a lot of movies had to shut down on production. It was just a whole bunch of stuff that happened, and that kind of changed the course of what happened with the MCU. So it'll be like, I really appreciate the MCU altogether, like I've said before, and I'm ready to, now that we have all the projects, because Phase 4 ended with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and the Christmas special presentation was really just like a, I don't want to say a midsection, but it was, basically that. It wasn't, it had nothing to do with anything really, but it's canon, but it's not connected to Phase 4, it's not connected to Phase 5, and it's just a movie. It's just like, a fun Christmas thing for people to enjoy for the holidays, and like I said, there's literally nothing wrong with that. But with all of the projects that we've got in Phase 4, people have definitely become very, I don't know what the word is, divisive, but that, people have chosen sides for sure when it comes to, oh, this isn't like how the MCU should be, and all of the other things, and people have really taken their stances on how they feel about Phase 4 of the MCU. And I've taken a couple stances with Phase 4 as well. It's been, Phase 4 has been one of those. It's like Phase 1, they're trying out a lot of stuff, trying to see what people like, trying to see what people don't like, and then they're going to change things according to that, right? So I think that wherever we go for the future of the MCU is going to be incredible, and I think Phase 5 is going to be awesome. And with the start of Phase 5 being Ant-Man Quantumania, yeah, bro, I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to have a lovely time next year watching all of these dope ass movies that we're going to be getting, and dope ass shows. Like, and that's another thing, look at the Disney Plus shows, and even the Disney Plus shows were affected by COVID, even though that was on Disney Plus. Still, the shooting of those movies, and I mean of those episodes in those series, and having to go to the multiple locations and all of that, everything has been hurt by COVID in one way or another. So it's going to be really interesting to see what type of, my bad, my mic was dumbass loud, I just noticed it right now. It's going to be really interesting to see what type of MCU we're going to have without all these restrictions. And we know a lot of those restrictions were the cause of why that we couldn't have a lot of the crossover too as well. So hopefully we get more, I mean, in the sake of having these projects feel more cohesive to one another, maybe that's where we can be moving to in the future of things, just period. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. And I think that's kind of what most people are hoping for, to be honest, is have a lot more connective tissue to what's going on within the MCU. And I think that is a place that we are definitely going to be going within phase 5. And I just kind of wanted to start this and premise this off by saying that first and foremost. And then we're also going to continue and get into our ranking of all of the projects. And that is going to be Disney Plus and movies alike. I was thinking about going from the top to the bottom, or instead of doing it random, but I'll ask you guys how you guys would like it, how you guys want to go through it, and then we'll see. But let's jump into the comments first. Like I said, I just really wanted to get that out the way because I really wanted to premise this off as like, I understand a lot of people don't appreciate phase 4, but I do. I do appreciate phase 4. I appreciate what they were trying to do and what they did. I think they actually achieved what they were trying to do. I don't think anything failed in a way. Like, even the movies and things that I didn't like, I still don't think they failed because I think that they were all trial and error type of things, not in the same way as, hey, let's just throw a bunch of things to the wall and see what sticks, but, let's actually venture outside of the proverbial box that we have put ourselves into and that other people have also put us into. And that's something that they did in a great way. So let's jump into the chat and see how you guys are doing today. Starkiller says, yo, let's get this in here. Doop. And then, my bad. Starkiller says, yo, Starkiller. What happened is, so Starkiller, you're not Darkholds anymore? Bro, come on, G. It's me, Darkhold, just rebooted my channel. The reason why is because it started dying out, so I made a new one. Darkhold Edits is deleted, and all my vids are gone. Oh my goodness, Darkhold, what's up with that, G? So just because are you saying that you stopped getting a lot of views on your stuff, so you deleted your channel and made a new one? That's crazy, bro. You gotta stay consistent, baby, with everything that you do. Love and Thunder was awesome. Hawkeye and Black Widow, though. Moon Knight, Eternals, and Wakanda Forever. Yeah, those are all very peak. OMG, Pineapple. OMG, hello, Pineapple. Yeah, what's up with that Pina Colada? Pina Colada, Darkhold, Starkiller Edits, a.k.a. Darkhold Edits, a.k.a. Dr. Vince in the Multiverse of Vinces. Like, my guy has... What was the fee on changing your name? I can't remember. My guy, Starkiller just might as well just get bankrupt for all the name changes he go through, right? But yeah, bro, much love to you, Starkiller and Pina Colada. I appreciate both of y'all for being here, and we're about to get into ranking these amazing projects. Oh, that's hot. Yummy. That's hot. I like that. I like it like that. But I hope everybody's having an awesome day, yo. Let me know how you guys are doing. And let's see. Let's get into, you know what? I don't think I actually got this ready for me to do what I need to do. I have this here, and I can close that because that's there. Close this. All right, guys. Let's see. Because we're going to get into ranking these things. Let's see, gonna do it like that. Yes, sir. All right. So let's see. Blow. Oh. Okay. Jesus. Boom. There we go. Oh, and then there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. You guys want this one or you guys want this one? Which was I think the other one would be better so you can actually see it. Am I right? Oh shit. Wait, let's see me. There we go. Like, would you guys rather see this one, like, the second scene or the third scene? Second scene. Oh, shit. Third scene. I think third scene is the one to go. So I'll rock on third scene, and then if you guys aren't rocking with it, just let me know, and then I'll change it to the second scene or something. But here we have all of the projects from Phase 4. Let's move down a little bit. Okay, maybe we'll move up for right now. Boom. Yeah, we'll just go right there. All right. Here we have all of the projects for Phase 4, of course, right? So, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Black Widow, What If, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, Moon Knight, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Miss Marvel, Thor Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, and, of course, Wakanda Forever. So, we are going to rank these. S tier, of course, being the best, and D tier being the worst. I'm of course going to explain all of my choices and reasons and decisions behind everything that I say and all the stuff that I make. You guys know how this is. We can definitely get into a discussion about anything, and so yeah, we're gonna get into it. I'm pumped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty excited to get into this because I really enjoyed Phase 4, and I know I enjoyed it more than most people did. So I'm really just juiced to kind of get into that and just kind of almost relive or re-experience those awesome things that we actually did see from Phase 4. To be honest, because it was lit. Where was that video? Yo, you remember there was that dope ass Phase 4 like montage that somebody made, and it was just lit from start to finish. I have no idea where it's at now, but yeah, if I could find that, that would be awesome to watch right now, just to kind of get into the vibes. But what was it? Phase 4. Was it like a compilation? Uh, yeah, actually, I think it's this right here. Yeah, I believe this is it. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we can still do it from this screen like this. Let's plop on the good old fashioned, the good old headphones. Go ahead and blow. Hit that on. All right. Oh snap! Wait. I hear nothing in my headphones. Are they plugged in? Yeah, they're plugged in. Sorry, guys. Sound, baby. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay, there we go. Let's get it. Oh, oh, ooh. Okay, this is actually pretty fire. I ain't gonna lie. Bro, I truly loved like everything from Phase 4. I only truly had two projects that I was not all the way there for. But I also think once I rewatch Phase 4 again, I'll have a better appreciation for everything. Because I don't think I've rewatched literally anything in Phase 4. Okay, last one. Yo, see, this is fire. Damn. They did my guy Vision dirty, bro. Oh, shit. Yo. Oh. Damn. Yo, they did such a W job, bro. Look at that. Okay, that's fire. Oh. Bro's going crazy. Yeah. Yes, sir. That was crazy fire right there. No cap. That was amazing. Shout out to Franco MS Edits for that one. That was insane, yo. That was insane. Yo, Star Killer, them is the type of edits you need to come through with, fam. Like that. Them things is on those things is on 10. So, with all those amazing vibes initiated, let's get it pip pop plopping and clapping because we about to get it in. All right, so starting with WandaVision. Man, look, when it comes to WandaVision, I'm not gonna lie. For the first thing that we get after everything, I was very underwhelmed by it. Like, I really wanted a lot more from WandaVision, and I know a lot of people love WandaVision, and I'm not gonna lie, I do like some things of WandaVision, but when I like for the story overall, we got finessed way too hard. That's what I feel like is the issue with WandaVision. We got finessed way, 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 way too hard. Like with the teases of Agatha's husband, who that could have been, and it just we didn't get any play from that at all. I don't know if they're going to be showing that in the future of the MCU, but as far as it not having anything to do with anything in the show, that was a huge finesse and it was really irritating. Like, even if it's not Mephisto, for it to have been anybody would have been nice. But for it to be Ralph Boner, that was a huge, huge slap in the face. I'm not gonna lie, that was a huge slap in the face. And especially for them to use my guy Quicksilver as him and it not be Pietro though. Like, I don't know, bro. It was just there was a lot of interesting creative choices that they went with in WandaVision that really didn't appeal to me. And I think that because of that, it kind of fell a little bit flatter than I wanted it to. Did it set up some crazy things for the MCU? Yes, like it set up a lot of crazy things. It set up Multiverse of Madness for one, and it just set up a lot of crazy different things for the MCU coming forward. Especially giving us that look inside of Sword, a better look inside of Sword, and introducing us to Monica Rambeau, who is going to be appearing in the Marvels next year as well. Like that's a W. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm all the way here for it. I'm all the way there entirely for it, to be honest, and it's amazing. But still, it. I mean, and that's one of the things that you'll hear me say a lot within every single one of these titles that I'm gonna rank is that everything in Phase 4 was about the future of the MCU and the buildup of what's to come. So that's why everything felt like it fell a little flat because it was all just reactionary and okay, this is a stepping stone to what's about to happen next. So that in that case, it is like, damn, that's kind of crazy. But overall, though, I wasn't a entirely huge fan of what WandaVision was when you look at it for its entirety. If you can, chop it up into sections, then yeah, I like bits and pieces of certain things. But very similar to how it was with the Kenobi series, it just felt like a very big finesse overall. And those couple of dope ass moments weren't enough to save everything. So I think I'll put that at about C tier. I kind of want to put it B tier just because those couple of moments that were amazing were epic, and I do remember really enjoying the question of why Wanda did what she was doing. So I can't say that it was entirely trash by any means, but it was a little slow. But the things that we even learned, like the way we even learned about Vision, like what happened to Vision and how Hex Vision and White Vision were even created and kind of brought into the fray, and how they were like fighting, and then the whole ship of Ulysses type of thing that was going on. I really do appreciate that. And then now that we also know that, we're getting the Wonder Man series, we're also supposed to be getting a White Vision series, and all of these things are going to be kind of spinning off of the building blocks that have already been put there from WandaVision, then you can't help but, be a little bit more like, all right, okay, I guess I'm all right with this. I guess I'm not completely against this. So that I can put it in B tier. I wanted to put it in C tier, but I can put it in B tier just because we also had never seen Sword, I don't think, like that until this one, I mean, at least inside of Sword, and really kind of understand a little bit more of what's going on with Sword. And I think this show kind of helped us understand that Sword is kind of the new Shield in a big way within what's going on. I guess you can say that Shield has kind of been split into two different sections, and those sections are Shield has been split into two different things, and one of those things is Sword, and then the other is Damage Control. So Sword and Damage Control are kind of both halves of what Shield was entirely, I guess you can say, in their own way. And I just really like that about WandaVision as well. And like I said, WandaVision was amazing. It was amazing for a lot of the things that it was trying to do. It was just that finesse, man. Like the same reason, like the same issues a lot of people had with She-Hulk, like relying on all this other stuff and all this stuff and da 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 da. It's like, I don't think that really was the case with She-Hulk. I think that was the case with WandaVision, though. I think they bagged on a lot of people expecting big things to happen. So they were able to kind of finesse it a little bit. But once again, you can't help but, also notice that there was either scheduling conflicts or it was because of COVID why they couldn't have Doctor Strange in WandaVision. So you got to also look at that for sure. All right. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. All right. So when me and Battery initially went into watching the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we were completely expecting like Civil War Winter Soldier vibes more than anything. Those were the vibes that we were completely ready for. More Winter Soldier vibes than anything, because I mean it's called the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? So Captain America the Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You just kind of expected them to kind of be on the same level a little bit. And for me, they were not. I loved the performances of Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. But but the show felt way too slow for me. There was a lot of wasted time on certain things that we didn't need, and that time could have been spent actually building up a lot more of the world, I guess you could say. Because like we did figure out about the Regentrification Act or something like that, right? The global right? Is that what it is? The Global Regentrification Act or something like. What was it called? GRA Marvel. Is that what it is? Is it relocation? Yeah, Global Repatriation Council, the GRC. Okay, when we found out about the Global that is a ridiculous name for it. Repatriation Council, and this is the council that reactivated status and managed resources for refugees displaced by the blip. The Global Repatriation Council was founded in 2023 following the blip. The blip caused mass hysteria and confusion among the world's population, who had grown used to the new status quo. The return of the victims led to the displacement of poor economic migrants that lost their job and were evicted from their new homes by either local governments or their original owners before the blip. And many people lost everything, leading to the creation of the overpopulated refugee communities in many parts of Asia, Europe, and North America, who were taken care of by the GRC personnel. However, the poor conditions of the infrastructures where those communities where those communities lived led to those communities becoming resentful of the GRC. Numerous advertisements for GRC were posted in London, England, such as one above a Natural History Museum advertisement. With tensions rising in refugee communities, the GRC started to plan a way to deport all the displaced to their countries of origin. Origin whenever they wanted to or not, which ended up just increasing the tensions among the refugees and GRC. This led to the formation of the Flag Smashers, an anti-nationalist movement that wanted to prevent the deportation of the refugees and to force the GRC to give the refugees better living conditions. However, this movement became radical and extreme, so the GRC enlisted John Walker and Lamar Hoskins to ensure the global order and hunt down the Flag Smashers, yo. What's the Patch Act? The plan to deport the refugees as fast as possible became very controversial among the members of the nations of the GRC, with some representatives admitting that they didn't have the equipment and infrastructure to return the refugees to their home nations by the timeline established by the architects of the Patch Act. But the representative from the United States insisted the plan go through no matter the moral reservations of the other representatives. However, before a decision could be taken, the Flag Smashers initiated a terrorist attack to prevent the act from being ratified by attempting to take the representative hostages, which they managed by using infiltrators in the guard and hijacking their escape transport. Everything was going according to their plan. Oh, okay, yeah, and then we saw the end. Yeah. And with all of that, I love I love the addition of the GRC, and I love the Flag Smashers. Not gonna lie, I did love them, and I think that the stuff that the Flag Smashers were doing is going to definitely have some ripple effects throughout the rest of the MCU. And this is another case of what I was saying earlier with the whole, when it comes to these shows, or all of Phase 4 in its entirety, the Disney Plus shows the most. That's something that we really have to think about and remember when it comes to the Disney Plus shows, though, is that their main purpose is to build up something else. That's it. So I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's keep it going and let's keep it moving. Falcon and Winter Soldier. What else did I like from Falcon and the Winter? Oh, that was also the introduction of Isaiah Bradley, who also was a Captain America at some time, or a super soldier at least, fighting for the United States. And they didn't give him his flowers at all by any means, and that definitely sucks. And we found out so much about him. He has a son, or he has kids, and those kids had kids, so he had a grandson that was with him, and that show really gave us a deeper look into Sam Wilson's character. It really gave us a deeper look into Sam Wilson's character and allowed us to understand what he kind of went through growing up, even being in the military, knowing about what was going on with his sister, his parents. I wasn't mad at the sister being in the show at all, but that boat episode was just atrocious. The episode where like the whole community comes together to fix the boat. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but it just didn't hit the way that I don't think it hit for anyone the way that they wanted it to. And I don't know if that's because it was done poorly or what, or because I don't know. It just came at a weird point. It was all very interesting. If anything, that's something that could have been more at the beginning of the show or something, but that was just really weird and a complete waste of a lot of people's time. Definitely a waste of mine. But I digress. The fight scenes and stuff, like when it comes to the fighting was good. And the fighting was definitely, I could say that the fighting was one of the only things that was kind of on par with the Winter Soldier type of vibe, because they was definitely throwing hands. Everyone was. But at the same time, the fight scenes were very underwhelming, and I don't know. It was interesting. It was weird. I think it's mainly because we just got off of all these dope ass crazy fights that it felt a little weird to just go to something that felt so basic, but they're supposed to be like super. I don't know, man. I don't know. It felt a little bit too grounded to where it didn't even feel like in my eyes, that should have felt like Daredevil. Like when we see Daredevil fights and stuff like that, it's like, oh yeah, like this is real because it's ground level fighting. They're really whooping ass. But this didn't all the way feel that way all the time. There was a couple moments when I was like, oh shit, like damn. But then it was like, that was kind of whatever. So I liked the Falcon and Winter Soldier for all of the reasons other than, the I don't even know what to say. Like, I loved the emotional growth within Falcon and Winter Soldier more than anything, right? I loved the character development of both Sam Wilson and Bucky, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I loved the growth of both of them, and even though the Winter Soldier doesn't feel like he has been fully redeemed yet, like that's how I went out feeling in that show. I was like, man, like Sam definitely came to grips with who he is and everything, but the Winter Soldier is still kind of like not evil, but he's still a bad guy. Like, he's not a hero all the way. And seeing that he's going to be in the Thunderbolts is like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. So all the issues that I kind of had, once again, it's going to come in the future of what's going on. But still, It was very, very much a downfall for me, so I'm gonna have to put that at C. I did not appreciate it nearly as much as like I don't think the people that created this were as I don't know. But like also we also got Sharon Carter coming out as a bad guy in this, and that just did not vibe right with anybody. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit what's going on. Well, it didn't fit for me because we didn't see any of the stuff that she was talking about. I mean, yeah, they're like it makes sense that for 5 years and all this other stuff she was on the run still. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But still, like her aunt is Peggy Carter. Like I just can't see that happening. That I can't see her tarnishing the name. I just can't see that happening. It just doesn't seem realistic to the character. It was said that I know I heard talks about retconning that into something different, but I don't know if that's truly going to happen. But it did see like, we also got the connection to Shang-Chi within that because I believe the place they fight in Shang-Chi is also referenced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that was actually pretty cool. And I also liked having Val in there and coming in and recruiting U.S. Agent, and I actually did like U.S. Agent a lot more than a lot of other people did, and I thought the death of his homie was just ridiculous, and I think that was lame, and I really don't like that they gave that to us, but his reaction to that was incredible, and I think that we could get a lot more incredible things like that. For sure, for sure. Let's see. Next up is Loki. Not gonna lie, Loki is one of my favorite Disney Plus projects that we got. Loki was definitely incredible. I loved every episode of Loki. The cinematography in Loki was amazing. The cinematography in all of these Disney Plus shows, honestly, to me, I was really okay. I thought it was really good, except for one of them, if I'm not mistaken. And I loved this. I just loved Loki so much. The shots that we got, the buildup that there was with Loki, literally everything about Loki made me happy. I'm not gonna lie. I loved the relationship that we got between Loki and damn, I was about to say Mordecai. What in the world? Mobius. That's his name. The relationship between Loki and Mobius was incredible, and they definitely it brought just lovely vibes to the table. It made us all. It made us feel a certain way, and you could feel their bond getting closer and closer together. Seeing Loki kind of have to relive his entire life that he hasn't even lived and see the mistakes of another Loki that's not even him. You know what I mean? Mind you, like that's not even him as Loki. That's a different Loki. But having to see all of those mistakes that he would make in his regardless in his future. I mean, that is him because he goes on to make all those mistakes. It's just that he got plucked from that reality. So for him to be Stones, the things that he spent his almost like a good portion of his life, what he risked everything for, just not mean anything. The realization that Infinity Stones in this place where the TVA exist, it means nothing to them. Like they use them bitches as paperweights. Like they did not care at all about like that type of stuff, and it just showed what type of different power level and how different of a power scale everything was on. Because it was definitely on a whole other level, and that was incredible. Yo, what's up with the Music City Soul? My guy, how you doing, G? I hope you're having a good one today. What's going on? Don't play me. Blah. No, close this. Where's that? Oh. There we go. I was like, where's that? There we go. Loki has had the best arc. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Loki has definitely had the best arc. I agree with that. Like 10 million fold. Loki has definitely had the best arc in the well, I'm not gonna lie, Iron Man's arc is crazy, and so is everyone has a pretty good arc, I'm not gonna lie. But I do think that Loki has one of the best like villain arcs, like villain to hero arcs that we've seen, and I don't think he's the only one. Because like, look at the Winter Soldier, right? The Winter Soldier has villain to hero arc as well. Um, and Wanda kind of has the hero to villain arc, not necessarily the villain to hero. And then Baron Zemo maybe might be villain to hero, but he definitely still felt very villainous in his last movie. But Loki was awesome. Like I was saying, like the music was great. The interactions between Sylvie and Loki were also, I just loved it. One thing I wasn't a fan of is them like really getting together at the end of that and like all kissy face and all that type of stuff. Not the biggest fan of that. But I was a big fan of everything else. Not to mention this was the first time we got to see a variant of Kang as Immortus, aka He Who Remains, and that shit was incredible. Like that was insane. Like that was insane to see Jonathan Majors come through and just show off his acting chops at top peak tier. And he definitely went crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing all of that, and then even how it ended with seeing that Jonathan Majors Kang variant is actually in the TVA as a statue now instead of the fake time variant or whatever. Like, bro, that is beautiful, and I can't wait for the next season. I think this is one of the only things that we know has a season 2 out of basically all of the shows that we got. So I think that we're gonna get a dope ass season 2 from this, and I really do think that Loki, for me, is my favorite show, and that's why I'm gonna have to put it as S tier for me. So I really loved it. Like like everything about it was top notch. The visuals, the sound effects, the acting from everyone, the build up, and also the implication for the rest of the MCU. Like implication is a new thing that we almost have to put on the scale for when we rate it. Like, does this have actual implications for the future of the MCU? And and I feel like Loki is the beginning of the multiverse saga, like more than anything else. Give me 1 second, you guys. My bad. I'll be right back. All right, my bad, guys. I'm back. Important business call that I could not answer. Okay. All right. So, did I have this on just now? I don't know. We'll rock it. Yeah, and I also really did enjoy learning about the other multiverses in Loki, and the fact that Loki also like went straight into the reason why Spider-Man's spell didn't work. All of that is amazing. And the thing that's different and interesting about these shows is that it's not really possible for them to tell us in Spider-Man No Way Home that it's because of what Loki did in, like, what Sylvie did in the Loki show that his spell didn't work. We have to learn that from the directors and from Kevin Feige and all this other stuff. That's not something that you can really tell narratively without, like, there's just really not a way for that to happen unless Loki is in there and he's talking about what's going on, and that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So it's just very hard at some way, especially when you got the normies that are so into everything now as well. It's like they really don't know what's going on. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Next up, we got Black Widow. Oh my god, I legitimately think Black Widow is probably the worst movie that Marvel has ever made. Not only did this movie do like near to nothing narratively, I do not think that this movie should have been like Scarlett Johansson's movie in the, like, I don't think they did, like, like this is not a good movie. Like it's just not a good movie for the Black Widow that we know and the Black Widow that we love, right? This is not a good movie for her, for that setup, for that build up. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, man. I'm sorry. Like I do like this movie, but a lot of the decisions that they made were so terrible. The decisions were trash. Like it was like, bruh, what the hell are you doing? Like, not to mention she was dead in the MCU, so it really didn't matter. It was just like, bro, what the hell? Like they fumbled the bag on that, and I definitely believe that if they would have chose to make that movie more about Yelena than actually making it about Black Widow, it would have been hella better. Like it would have been hella better. Like literally it probably would have been an incredible movie if it was Yelena Belova's movie and we saw things from her perspective rather than seeing things from Black Widow's perspective at all. Because like most people, what they wanted, because we knew it was going to go into the past, was we thought we were going to actually see what happened between her and Hawkeye. But did they do that? No. They just show some damn arrow marks in the wall. It's like there were so many chances to make this incredible, and they fumbled the bag. And I feel the same way about Hawkeye, but we're not talking about Hawkeye yet, so I'll get there in a second. Music City Soul says Black Widow was 5 years too late. I could not agree more. 5 years too late. 5 years too late for sure. And it really makes me very furious that it's 5 years too late because it had every single ingredient to be like delicious, literally. If it had came after Civil War, banger. 100% I agree to that as well. If it would have came after Civil War, before we get into all the stuff that's going on, it definitely would have been a grand slam. And I'm not gonna lie, it'll probably be a hella good movie when you rewatch things in the correct order, right? Because I don't know if people know, but on Disney Plus they have the timeline order that you can watch the MCU in, and I bet you it's fire when you watch it in that way. It's probably a W-ass movie, but when you look at where they put it out at, what was going on at the time, how the movie is, it does not work at all. They made a phase, what is that, phase 2? That phase 2, I think? I think that's phase 2. Or is that phase 3? I think it's like phase 2, into phase 2, maybe the beginning of phase 3. They put like a phase 2 movie in phase 4. And you can't do that. You just can't do that right now. Like, it's not a good idea. It didn't really work for Captain Marvel either, right? Like, once again, Captain Marvel is another one of those movies that if you go back and watch it from the beginning, then it looks dope because you get like the Avenger Initiative and it's like, oh shit, yeah, that's lit. You get the Avengers Saga, that basically type of vibe. And I'm okay with that. But it makes the movie trash in my opinion, low key. So they just made that movie because they messed up and let DC beat them to the punch with Wonder Woman. Yeah, pretty much. And they should have been made a movie with Scarlett Johansson leading it as Black Widow. And I think this movie, I think the biggest issue with this movie is they tried to wrap a trilogy up in one movie. That's really what it feels like. It feels like they tried to wrap 3 movies, because like you said, they messed up. So it's like they tried to wrap 3 movies into one movie just so they could get it like out of the way and like pay some homage in a way. And it's like, bruh, nah, that's not it. This is not the way to do it at all. This is not how you do ScarJo, just none of it. And then they wasn't even trying to pay her. And then she had to sue and stuff, and it's just like, bruh, none of that stuff is a good thing. But I'm pretty sure all of those issues came from that man Chapek being in charge. And now that he's gone and we got Iger back, I'm pretty sure we can look at a better future, a better tomorrow. All right. So yeah, I'm going to have to put that D tier. Because not only that, even though, don't get me wrong, Did I love Red Guardian? Hell yeah. Did I love Yelena? Hell yeah. Did I love the mom? Hell yeah. Did I love the relationship they all had together? Hell yeah. Like, I loved a lot of things about this movie. Don't get me wrong. But it's still one of the worst movies that they've ever made. Like, this, if anything could have been another Civil War, it was this movie. Was it, though? Hell no. Bad guy. Trash. Like, the dude that she thought she beat being alive the entire time and still secretly imprisoning and kidnapping women around the world and forcing them to be fighting assassins when she thought she destroyed that whole thing and thought she redeemed herself. And the whole reason that Black Widow turned over to the light side is because she thought she smacked bruh's daughter just for the daughter to still be alive. And her... So, like, you know what I mean? Like, all of her qualities that made her, redeemed her, that she wanted to redeem, didn't need to be fucking redeemed because she didn't do anything wrong in the first place. And it's like, bruh, this is, she assassinated a lot of people before then, but it was the killing of the daughter that really turned how she felt about stuff, you know? Like, the killing of the daughter is what made her that pivotal change and what caused her to turn it to S.H.I.E.L.D. and what was like the inning for Hawkeye to be able to come in and actually change like her mind and bring her to the light side, for a lack of better words. And all of that was flushed down the toilet because the daughter never died. And then not only did the daughter never die, but worst choice in MCU history next to what they did with Gore the God Butcher, they made the daughter freaking Taskmaster. What? Like, what is this? What are these? What the hell is happening? What's going on? Like, do I even, like... Bruh, there's no reason for that. That's the weirdest choice in the history of choices ever that you could have done. Like, hey, there's not, like, hey, this is already a female-led movie with another female that's going to come in and take over the mantle, as well as they're going to give the redemption arc to the mom, that's also the female lead, and then, not only that, but we're going to make the bad guy a Harvey Weinstein type of dude. And not only that, but we're going to make him have his daughter be his bodyguard that he has turned into a cybertronic super soldier. What in the hell is going on in this writing room, bro? Like, that was all insane choices for them to make. Like, I don't know. Like, you give up on so much with the actual Taskmaster person that it just, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's the biggest L ever in the history of L's to me. It definitely had elements to be great, but they fumbled it, as you said. Oh yeah, they fumbled the bag hard. Worst idea ever. Yeah, I don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't understand the choices with this movie at all. Like, they didn't need to do that. Like, I don't know if they thought, like, I don't know what it was, bro. Like, it felt like they were like, nah, we need another female villain to redeem into being a hero. But I don't know why. Because that was kind of what everybody was doing anyway. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It was just a really interesting choice for them to do. And I don't understand why they did it. And I don't think anyone really understands why they did it. And I need to, like, watch a documentary or something, or hear from Kevin Feige, like, why did you decide to do this? Because it really felt like they only did it because they could. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like, oh, this is narratively something different, or it's like this. And, you know, it was just like, nah, we're going to need another female on the Thunderbolts team, so let's make Taskmaster a female. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I wasn't there for that. That was hella weird. That was just super weird. Not a big fan. All right. Next thing we have is What If, baby. Woo-wee. I'm also one of the people that like What If more than other people. And I believe Battery likes What If more than other people as well. When we first heard about What If and we first saw the trailers and stuff, we were very not okay with the animation style that they were going with. But once you watch it and you like kind of watch it for like, once you get through like the first 2 episodes, really the first episode for me, but once you get through like the first 2 episodes, it's like, okay, I'm okay with this. Do I want them to change the animation to something else for the next season? Yes. Do I think they will? No. Do I think it'll hurt the show because they're not going to change it? Also no. But I do love this show of What If. What If was also a direct causation of the events in Loki. Like, let's not forget about that. These are the other multiverses that the TVA were pruning in Loki, right? Like, that's the best way to look at it. Is all of the different episodes and different multiverses that we got to look into in What If are the multiverses that the TVA were trying to prune in Loki. The acts that Sylvie did caused the entire multiverse to break because it was all stranded into one. It caused the multiverse to break, and that means it didn't just cause the multiverse to break in right now, but throughout all of time, which causes the different events to occur. The beginning of What If, with the intro monologue that we get from the Watcher, is probably one of my favorite things about the series, and probably one of my favorite things we've had in the MCU as well, just because I believe that just gives so much groundwork to the future of what we're going to see in, like, not Civil War, but Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, Deadpool 3. All of these different things are going to literally be built off of these multiverses that we've already got glimpses into with it in What If. What If reintroduced my main man Ultron, who, if you guys are fans or have been around here for a while, you know that my main man is Ultron, my number one villain. My villain list goes Ultron, and then Doom, and then probably Thanos, and then, it goes into some other people. But that, like, my top 5 for sure, Ultron is at number 1 for me. All the way, there is no question. And then Gore the God Butcher is in there too, but this is also comic books, I'm not talking about the MCU movies. But I also love Ultron in the MCU, and I want him to come back more. So being able to see him, and not only him, but also my main man Killmonger, seeing them get brought back, oh yeah, man. And not only brought back, but kind of conjoined as one. Being able to see what it would have been like if Ultron actually got the body that he created and not Vision. Oh man, woo! Yeah, that's crazy, super hot fire that I need more of, and I believe that they did an incredible job with What If. Seeing Captain Britain in What If, and then seeing a different alteration of Captain Britain in Multiverse of Madness is probably one of the best and dopest creative decisions I think that I have really seen Marvel do. I'm not gonna even lie, and I think that was one of the dopest ways to introduce a character as well, and introduce a multiversal character, and then give us another iteration of a multiversal character that is an iteration of a character. I think that's really good and smart of them to do, so they can start getting people's minds in the flow of it, because a lot of people was like, oh, that's the same Captain Britain from What If. Nah, fam, no, it's not. That's a completely different Captain Britain from What If, or Captain Carter, from What If, and that is what makes it even doper, is that is a different Captain Carter, right? Hell yeah, let's keep it going. So that means there's a multiverse of Captain Carters, and it just keeps it going. And I love that. I love that aspect of what was going on. And I also love how they gave Black Widow her redemption, Loki and What If, and Spider-Man with Doctor Strange's cape is probably one of the dopest things ever. I loved this show. I'm not gonna lie. I really had a great time with What If. And then the freaking fight at the end with Ultra Killmonger, or Killmatron, whatever that dude's name was. That shit was fire. And then punching through dimensions and universes and just changing the things of what was happening. Yeah, I really loved that. I really had a great time with it. So I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna put this in A tier. I'm not gonna lie, because I really did like it. I liked every episode. I don't think there was one episode that I didn't like that I can think of right now, but I'm definitely gonna have to put that in A tier just because. And it was the first MCU animation that we got as well, and I really liked it. So I could put that in A tier. I'm not gonna lie, I could put that in A tier and feel comfortable about it. Once again, like I said, I like What If more than a lot of people though, and I thought that they did some crazy fire things. I'm so mad that they one and done. Oh, one and done to Ultron. What If did right by him? Yeah, and I don't think they one and done to Ultron. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think that we might get Ultron somewhere in the future of the MCU because he's been sprinkled very thoroughly throughout the MCU. I mean, he was in Spider-Man. You know, the Ultron head was in Spider-Man. We saw the Ultron bots in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and we also got Ultron being like the main villain in What If. So I think it's very possible that we could see, Ultron come back, and I'm all the way down for it, like 1 trillion billion%. And I think it's Liddy McJitty that we're gonna get a season 2 of this as well, and I just really hope that we get Ultron back some way, shape, or form because I love Ultron. Like I love Ultron so much. Like damn, Ultron is lit. Armor Wars would be dope place to see Ultron again as well. Ironheart would even be a doper place. I think seeing Ultron and Ironheart would be hella dope. Like she's trying to get some program or something, and we all expect it to be an AI of Tony Stark. Boom, it's the AI of Ultron instead that she taps into somehow. And then Ultron is like talking to her and stuff. And he's trying to get her to help him get his body back or something. Like, I don't know. But that would be dope. I know I'm just fishing. But I think that would be hella lit. I think that would be hella lit. Okay, next up. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I love this movie. Okay. I love this movie so much. This movie was a perfect mixture of street level and mysticism. Like, I knew the movie was going to go to some mystic level type shit just because of how the Ten Rings were. But damn, was I not ready for like an alternate dimension where there's a whole other cities and stuff and freaking Cthulhu trapped behind the thing and the water dragon and riding a dragon and freaking what? Like, what the hell? That was crazy, okay? Crazy. Probably the most... I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the most bold movies that Marvel has done because that mystical, like mysticism in that way has never existed in the MCU. And for them to just dragon, Cthulhu, like, I know it wasn't Cthulhu, but you get what I'm saying. Like, that was those were very bold choices, super bold movie, and I love all of it. And I really do think that all of those type of creatures are going to tie into Cthulhu some way, shape, or form. I truly do, because the call that Shang-Chi's dad was getting and the call that Wanda was getting, they just seem way too similar to me, and I really hope that that somehow does end up becoming something more. Because I need it. I don't need it to, but it just makes the most sense. And it's not a major retcon or anything like that, and it's definitely something that would fit in the realm of possibility. So, like I said, I really like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi had crazy sound design as well. the the visuals in Shang-Chi were amazing, except there's like one part I think where they're like escaping the bottom of the compound and like someone's on a motorcycle. Maybe I'm thinking of a different movie, but I just know that there's one part that was just like, what the hell? Like it was just not it. It was not the strat. But that movie was still fire. I think the dad in that movie is one of the best villains as well that we have had in the MCU. And I think it's a freaking crime that we had not got to see the true Mandarin in more amazingness throughout the MCU somewhere else. And I really want to, like, if we're going to get anyone backstory for the past, give me the damn Mandarin, because the Mandarin was the dopest villain, like, for sure. The swag that he came with, everything was just on another level. And I'm really sad that he's not in the MC, like, he's not here, like, for us to continue to watch and be amazed by. It definitely sucks. But he was incredible. And I also love the introduction of the 10 rings, even though, once again, like, the 10 rings and the Mandarin have existed throughout the entirety of the MCU, but we never really got to see them like that. And I do believe that that was even handled very well, you know, letting us know that my guy's been in all these other organizations. And that's a big thing that that the Phase 4 of the MCU did as well, was show us that that even though S.H.I.E.L.D. and all these people and all these heroes and everything were doing such a great job that they thought, right? So they thought was doing such a great job. Nah, bro, they're not doing a great job at all, because we got this secret society, this secret city, these secret organizations, this thing and that thing. There's still all these things that have been going on throughout the entirety, even though they are now top, you know, like, even though there is all this stuff going on. And it's like, it doesn't even matter, bro. Like, now there's still, like I said, secret societies, secret cities, and all of these things going on. Look at what, you know, like, just everything showed us that there's so much more going on than what people want to believe, than what the MCU governments and stuff want to believe as well. And I think that's going to tie into a lot with what we're going to get in Phase 5 with, like, New World Order and just everything, Thunderbolts, all that stuff is going to, I feel it's going to all like mention everything that's going on, and how, like, Secret Invasion, we really don't know what the hell is going on. Like, we got scrolls that are our president. Like, it's gonna be insane. Like, it's gonna be insane level of things going on. So I'm super hyped and ready for all of that. And Shang-Chi, I also believe Shang-Chi is a big step to a big key into what's going to go on with the Kang Dynasty and all of the stuff when it comes to the multiverse. I just feel that way all the way. I loved it. So, Retcon City, yeah, for sure. They just retconned the 10 rings again in the latest Shang-Chi issue. Oh, damn. Yeah, bro, I wish they would have kept the 10 rings the rings, but hey, it is what it is, you know. Ring, like, nah, we're gonna make the 10 rings bracelets now. Like, all right, bro. And then we're gonna give someone else a bracelet that's also magical. All right, bro. Like, you make whatever decision you want to. I hope they address the huge celestial sticking out of Earth in Phase 5. For real. In the comic books, the Avengers actually use a dead celestial as their base. So that would be pretty dope for them to do in the MCU as well. Is, like, you know, have that become like an Avengers compound or something. I don't know what the hell they would do with it. You know, but it does seem like, I really do feel like the reason why those things have not been addressed is because they are being legitimately silenced by the governments of the world somehow, some way. And I think that's why it was showing up on that, like, Anon website that She-Hulk was on, because it's not like real new, you know what I mean? It was more like a conspiracy theory type of thing rather than, oh, this is actually legitimate, like, we're covering this on the news type of thing. And I think that's because the government is trying to hide it and cover it up, because they don't want people to know that shit like that is happening, you know? Like, why would the governments want people to know that's happening? Like, they already got enough on their plate they're already tripping about the global repatriotism act or whatever, or council that was going on in the event, and not the Avengers, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then, we got damage control being wild right now as well. So I just don't think that they really want anyone to know, and they're doing everything they can to keep it under wraps. And I think that would even be a dope type of thing to explore in one of these shows. It's like, yo, conspiracy theory type of thing, but it's not really conspiracy theories because all the stuff that they think they know is actually true, but the government is making it be like, nah, this isn't true. These are all lies. I just think that would be dope. So Shang-Chi, love Shang-Chi, love the 10 rings, love the addition of his sister, love the fact that they're going to be in there more. Also love the fact that we had Abomination and Wong like sneak in there a little bit. And then the end of Shang-Chi gave us, all that dope welcome to the Avengers now type of thing. Even though Kevin Feige has said that the Avengers are no longer a thing, which is something that's very interesting. Fighting in Shang-Chi was dope. Probably my one thing that I didn't like too much about Shang-Chi was Awkwafina. Not going cap. She was probably my least favorite part of the movie, but she's okay. I hope they don't like try to give her a huge role in the future. She's there for more than anything comedic relief, and I'm fine with that. But don't keep her there too long. You feel me? She doesn't need to be in the Avengers movie just because Shang-Chi is. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? She is not Robin to his Batman. She ain't even Alfred, you dig? So, let's just make sure we make good choices. But, love Shang-Chi. Yeah, I'm going to say that's S tier because I loved the fight scenes between him and his dad. Loved the way that the 10 rings were utilized. The beginning of that movie when we see the Mandarin first go crazy and how he's been a badass for the last 150 years or whatever that they show us. Loved that. Like I said, they even showed that there was a whole city in that alternate dimension that they were in. There was cities and stuff in there and all that. Loved it, bro. Love all of that. Whenever you give me secret cities and secret civilizations and secret dimensions all wrapped up into one, yeah, you get a W for me for sure. And like I said, Cthulhu, dragon, all of that the mystical side of things was beautiful, and it was a lovely aspect to the movie that I didn't fully expect, even though that trailer ruined everything. I think Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings trailer was the most spoilery and one of the worst trailers that we've ever seen. I don't think I've ever been so mad. But, yeah, that's how I feel about Shang-Chi. Love Shang-Chi. Great movie. Really a great movie. I really do love everything about it. Love the sister, like I said. She's a great addition to that movie. And I can't wait to see her pop up in the rest of the MCU somewhere. Yeah, I was going to say she would be cool on the Thunderbolts, but I take that back. All right, next. Eternals, baby. Once again, man, Eternals is one of those ones that I am a big fan of, that I think people hella hate on for no reason. I think that Eternals is a little bit ahead of the game in its own way, and that they may have released Eternals too soon. And thought that the minds of us mere mortals could actually comprehend what was going on. That's really how I feel. I really think that movie came out a little bit too early. I think they probably should have kept that movie for the next saga. Not even the next phase, but maybe the next saga, because going into the Eternals, I just think it's too soon. I do understand what they did do. I think that was a really good idea. I think everything about that movie is actually really, really dope. I'm not going to lie. The whole Celestial thing and the Celestial and the Earth, Thanos snap, the humans bringing him back, causes the Celestial to rapidly grow faster. I thought that was a lovely addition. I do hope that they do retcon Thanos's cause a little bit to fit more within that Eternals vibe of he snapped away half the universe so the Celestials couldn't actually awaken as soon as they were going to, because the Celestials are literally feeding off of the energy of whatever species is living on that planet. I do think that is a W. Like, I think that's a W, and I think that is a really good retcon that they should put in there. Like, oh, nah, this is just another reason why Thanos was actually trying to do it. And then it also reinforces the whole Thanos was right type of thing that was going on. And I would love if his brother says that as well, because we do meet his brother in there. Biggest issue for me is that they made the Eternals freaking robots. Even though they're not robots at the same time, like they're living robots, but they're not living robots. I don't know what the hell that was about. Not a fan of that, like, at all. Really wish that they would have done something different other than that. That was the biggest thing that took me out of the movie, because I was like, okay, well then how the hell are Star Fox and Thanos brothers then? How are they gonna how is this going on? Is Thane gonna be a thing ever? Is Thanos gonna, does Thanos secretly have a son or not? Like, is that gonna come out or no? Like, what's really going on here? What are we really doing with this? Is it possible that they can still reproduce or no? Like, I don't really know what's going on, but I do love the Celestial being in that movie, and I love how they utilize the Celestial, and I also love the backstory that they gave with the Celestials, and I also love the backstory of the Eternals. Eternals is an Infinity War-like movie, but we just don't know any of the characters, so that's what makes it an issue for a lot of people, is because the same way that Infinity War jumps around to multiple characters, but it does it in such a beautiful way, I think Eternals does the same thing, but it's just that people aren't as invested in the characters, and they don't really want to be invested into the characters either, so they're not as susceptible, or they're not as easygoing, or no, they're not they don't want to go on the journey. They're not going to accept the journey that you're trying to take them on as much, because they don't know who the people are that they're going on the journey with, which it's a valid complaint. I'm not going to lie, but I don't feel the same way. And I think Eternals is going to age like fine wine, and it's going to legitimately pop up so much more in the MCU. Eternals had a lot of things for the MCU going forward. A lot. Huge implications. Yeah, 100%, my guy. 100%. And I stand on it. I do believe that this movie came too early and too late at the same time, right? Like, this is one of those movies that could have came out the same way Captain Marvel came out. Like, we could have went this entire saga. We could have went the entire multiversal saga, and then right when it's about to end, we could have got the Eternals or something, or get the Eternals movie in between those phases, and the Eternals movie still exists in the same time frame that it did, right? Like, it still exists at the same time that it came out, all that stuff, but, it just happens over here, like, in between Endgame. Like, not Endgame, in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, we get it just so we can see the Eternals pop up, Like, if they took, like, a stance like that with it or something, I think it would have been a lot better. I don't know. But I think it was really deep for a lot of people, too. I don't think people like that. And then, you also got Fastos is gay in that, and I know that caused a lot of people to be set tripping. So, I love this movie, though, and I think every single creative decision, other than the robots, were great. Like, I really do think that they were great. Really not a fan of that whole robot thing. Don't know why they did that at all, to be honest. It makes... I don't know what the decision was that for. I've never looked into it either, so maybe I can like look that up or something, but I don't know why the hell they just decided to make them robots. That was just not the strap. But like I said, this movie is definitely a W in my book. I really did appreciate it. What else? God damn, the fight scenes in this were crazy. When the Eternals, when all of them were fighting against my guy, Not Superman. The dude, they called him Superman in it though, but I can't think of his name. Damn. Icarus. There we go. What? That was crazy. That was insane. Yeah, that was fire. I really love those. I really love that fight. The speedster, like it's going down in history that not Cersei, not Crow, Makari. It's going down in history that Makari is the best speedster that I'm pretty sure has ever been done live action. Um, I think that's just pretty much hands down how the consensus about that is. And for all the complaints that people have about Eternals, the dope ass fight scenes in CGI is not one of them. You dig what I'm saying? I love Eternals so much, and I can't wait to watch that movie again. The relationship between the Eternals was one of my favorite things about this movie. I loved the way that they dealt with each other, the way that they loved each other. I felt like you could feel the love between them all. Even when they died, you could definitely tell how much they were so heartbroken and just sad about what was happening, and just they really were just heartbroken from the things that were occurring, and bro, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. They did such a great job with it, and I think that they'll continue to do a great job if we ever get into Eternals 2 or whatever the hell that is going to be. It's going to be a complete and utter just vibe and a dub. And I'm here for it, bro. I'm telling you, like, I'm really here for it. And I think that there's no way that we can't just be so appreciative of what they did in Eternals. And even though they haven't talked about that giant celestial sticking up out of the ground in anything else, I do believe that it will come up somewhere in some way, shape, or form. So with all that being said, that's why I'm going to put Eternals in A tier, because I loved it. The visuals were amazing. The robot thing messed me up that bad though that I can't put it in S tier. The length of the movie, it was a little bit on the longer side, but once again, I feel like it needs to be. Like, that movie is, like, I think that movie succeeds with everything that it's trying to accomplish, and I'm here for it. There's nothing wrong with it, and I really do appreciate it, yo. I love it so much. Look, man, Camelot, Mutants, Blade, Black Knight, Celestials, Eternals was lit. That is a great point. We sure did get Blade at the end talking to Black Knight. We did get the introduction of Black Knight also, and those are definitely two humongous dubs that we cannot look past. Also, Camelot, for sure. We can't look past any of that. Yeah, Excalibur. Yeah, that's right. Eternals did give us Excalibur. Yeah, those are all dope. Yeah, those are all W things for sure. And it's really surprising how much that movie really did give us. I'm not gonna lie. Mutants. Did it give us mutants? Wait. What are you talking about, Mike Beasy? Hold on. Let's run that back. Who's a mutant in that movie? Or what mutants did they tease? Because I know how, Eternals and Celestials are connected to the mutants and the comics, but I don't know. Did they give us any? Did they lay seeds to that, or is that just what's coming in the future that you know a little bit more? The Camelot and King Arthur name drop. Oh wait, King Arthur's a mutant. Hold on, bro. No, King Arthur's not a mutant. That's my bad. My brain's going too fast. I'm gonna take a step back and let you just tell me what you got. King Arthur is not a mutant. Let me take a step back. Let me relax. His son is a mutant. Oh, damn. All right, well, tell me something. Tell me something. Yeah, bruh. Oh, snap. That was crazy. I I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it, and I think that, like I said, Eternals is gonna age like fine wine, baby. Eternals is gonna age like fine wine, and the future of it is gonna be insane in the membrane. Captain Britain actually is a protector of the realm of Camelot. Oh, that's okay, okay. I don't know too much about Captain Britain, to be honest. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on that guy. I think I honestly know a little bit more about Red Guardian than I do Captain Britain. You feel me? Uh, Damn, I was about to look something up and I forgot that quick. I don't know what it was about either. I forgot everything. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I need that. Okay, next up on the list, Hawkeye. I'm not gonna lie. I was just as disappointed with Hawkeye as I was with Black Widow. If not a little bit more. I just had to let that sit in a little bit. Because I know a lot of people love Hawkeye the most. Like, I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say that Hawkeye is their favorite Disney Plus show. And I just can't even believe it. Nico just became a sponsor of Marvel Bros. Pina Colada just became a sponsor of Marvel Bros. Shout out to you guys. I think you guys might just be renewing your Marvel Bros memberships, and I appreciate you guys for that. Welcome back to the Brovengers, if that is what you guys have done. I didn't get an alert or anything, so that's what I think has happened. Yeah. Okay, man, Hawkeye should not have been turned into like the Christmas special that it did get turned into. Hawkeye disrespected Hawkeye the way that fans disrespect Hawkeye. You know what I mean? Like the way that people who don't like Hawkeye be dissing Hawkeye is how Hawkeye did Hawkeye. And that pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. It felt weird. It was way too much like a Christmas movie. It was way too much like a Christmas special. And it should not have been. Like, that should not have been done to Hawkeye by any means necessary. Did Hawkeye have a lot of dope ass elements in it? Yes, it did. Once again, it did. And I think this is one of the biggest issues that Marvel and Disney Plus has right now with their shows is that they have bomb ass elements, bomb ass ingredients, but it's like they just don't put the right ratio in the gumbo, right? It's like they put too much salt or anything, you know, and too much of a good thing can be a bad thing. And I think that's what Hawkeye suffers from to the maximum degree. I mean, finding out his wife used to be an agent for S.H.I.E.L.D., is that incredible? Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome sauce. It's literally balls to the wall incredible. Did they give it to us in a dope way? No. Was there ever a hint that she could have possibly been an agent? Well, yeah, there was a small one. But wouldn't have been much more dope to even get a freaking flashback of her doing something? Yeah. Did we? Nah, because it became like the backbone of the series was that damn watch. We don't even know how the watch could connect back to her. I don't know, man. Rubbed me the wrong way. Did I love Yelena Belova in this? Yes, she was incredible. Did I also love Kate Bishop? Again, yes, she was incredible. But every other thing that they decided to do with this damn show really pissed me off. Not getting Kingpin until like the last episode. And then the way we got Kingpin pissed me off. Rubbed me the wrong way. He felt like a joke. Like, and then he didn't feel like Kingpin. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even feel, he didn't, it just wasn't right for me. Echo had like nothing in this show. I don't even know, bro. Like, like a lot of the once again the creative choices in this show were insane, and the things that they decided to do were so crazy. And the thing that really makes me the most mad is Hawkeye is the biggest or the only project or one of the biggest projects that feels the most like a comic book to me. And it's my least favorite because of how they executed it. And I know it makes no sense because that's what I love about a lot of Phase 4 is it felt way more like comic booky than anything else in the previous phases. And I love that. I love that so much. But it just felt wrong, bro. Like, it just didn't fit. I don't know. The Tracksuit Mafia thing pissed me off. Like, Hawkeye became a joke. Like, nothing more than a joke. Like, and that just really irritated me. The seriousness that they could have brought to it was not there at all. Was there moments? Yes, but it was not the backbone of the series, similar to Black Widow. I mean, this is another instance of them losing an opportunity of showing us a little bit more of Clint and Natasha's relationship together, and they did not do it. And it's just like, bro, I don't understand. You know? Like, I really like Clint Barton and I really like Hawkeye in this show so much, man. Like, I do have a really great time with it, but still, it's just like, bro, it's so underwhelming. It's so underwhelming, yo. My man Mike Beasy says, well, his wife in the comics is Mockingbird, who was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. They could have and should have included that. Well, I mean, like, yeah, they did still kind of give us that, but they... Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Like, they should have gave us so much more. Like, they still told us that she was Mockingbird, but they gave us nothing more than that. Like, being able to see her and Natasha on a mission, or her, Clint, and Natasha on a mission at some point, even that would have been dope. I mean, I don't think that should have been such a big freaking secret either. Like, it just seems like such a waste of a story to me. Like, to be completely honest, it just felt like such a waste of a story. Because it's like, especially if that never comes back up again, I will be furious. Like, I think it might come back up somewhere in the future. But if it never does, like, it's like, bro, they really just wasted our time to tell us something. Like, what's the number one rule in storytelling? Show, don't tell, my guy. Like, show, don't tell. And they told us too much. They showed us nothing. And that is my biggest thing. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve about it. I enjoyed the show, loved it, but there was definitely more they could have done. I appreciated the panel to screen moments, though. Yeah, I appreciated the panel to screen moments as well, and that's also what I mean by this was the most like a comic book, because, you know, it paid the most homage. It gave the most of that feel to it, but at the same time it didn't. Like, it was so insane. Like, it felt so much like a comic book, and then it felt so wrong. Like, it was such a blend of amazing, like literally it's like a dish that you love and have had before, and you go to someone's house and then they make it for you, and it's like, damn, y'all don't use enough seasoning, like, or something, you know, like the same way you can't eat everybody, you know, potato salad, or everybody macaroni and cheese, you know what I mean? It's like one of those, like, it's like, damn, you know what, I like macaroni and cheese, but this macaroni and cheese I don't like. And that's kind of how I feel about Hawkeye. It's just like, bruh, you know, maybe if it was at my house, maybe if, you know, my granny made it, it would have been fire. But your granny making macaroni and cheese is not fire, bro. Like, that's how it felt. That's really how it felt. Like, bro, I don't want this Thanksgiving dinner. I want to go to my family house and give Thanksgiving dinner. That's how that felt. Like, it's like, bro, just no. Like, I don't know. Or like, Thanksgiving dinner is delicious, and then somebody make bad yams. And it's like, bro, yams is like one of the main things I'm looking forward to. You done messed up all of Thanksgiving because your yams is disgusting. That's how Hawkeye was. It made the whole meal. It downplayed the whole meal because the turkey was dry and the yams was burnt, but everything else was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it felt. Also, Echo, I legitimately think Echo could have not been in this show and it still would have been amazing. I mean, it would have probably been better, to be honest. Like, Echo was literally only in this show for her show. And that is one thing that I didn't like about Hawkeye is Hawkeye was the biggest buildup of everything that we've gotten, you know? Out of all of the shows that are obviously for the implications and the buildup of the future, Hawkeye was nothing but buildup and fan service. Like, that was it. It's like, okay, we're just going to give you all of this, and then when we get, when Kate Bishop comes back, then that'll be the real Hawkeye stuff. And it's like, bruh, no. And I just feel like Hawkeye got the same treatment as Black Widow, and that's why it's going right next to Black Widow. Because I'm not a fan of either of those. Like I said, not a fan of what they did with my guy Kingpin. Kingpin felt like a joke in here, right? Like, Kingpin felt like a joke in here, and I don't think he should have, right? Like, when Kingpin is fighting Spider-Man, all right, I understand. But if Kingpin is fighting this tiny child that has nothing but a bow and arrow and can fight good, and my guy is Kingpin ripping through walls and busting through, nah, bruh. You should not be getting your ass whooped like this. Like, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he got hit by, he's super buffed. And that's, the only thing that they did that for. They only had Kingpin in it to show us that he's had a complete buff. Not a nerf, a complete buff. Like, he's had a complete buff as a character, but nerf to his character in a lot of ways. But also, another thing that's going to just be explored in what? The next movie, you know what I mean? In the next thing. So that's another thing that, you just have to pay attention to. And like I said, it is a reoccurring theme of Hawkeye. And then don't get me started with that I can do this all day shit. I'm not even going to dive into that and how much that pissed me off, right? I'm not going to even dive into that at all. But just know, just know that I hated that shit. And that made me dislike the entire series a little bit more. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was unnecessary, fam. Hawkeye should not have been turned into a Christmas special, and nobody can tell me otherwise. And no one can tell me that it wasn't turned into a Christmas special, because literally on the damn poster that you have right here is damn Christmas lights everywhere, because it was a Christmas special. No, thank you. He been in the gym. Yeah, my guy Kingpin was in the gym for a show. My man was in the gym and eating creatine, you dig? Because that man he was buffed. He was a buff boy. He was getting it popping. And, Hawkeye suffered traumatically from the deleted scenes that they took out. And they know they did. That's why we got damn near every deleted scene from Hawkeye after the fact. Hawkeye literally should have felt like Daredevil. It should have felt like Daredevil, or like one step below Daredevil, and it didn't. It felt like a lot. Just didn't. It wasn't even in the same. It wasn't even in the same stratosphere as Daredevil, but it should have been, because that's just how dope Hawkeye is, bruh. And he's a ground level hero, and he has a lot of dark things that are going on with him. My guy has made some freaking terrible choices. Let's not forget he spent 5 years murdering people. And I just feel like they definitely did him dirty. But they did Kate Bishop right. So to each his own. But yeah, D tier for sure. For sure. Next up, we got Spider-Man No Way Home, baby. There were no words when I first saw this movie. There was no way anyone could have prepared me for this movie. No way. None. There was no freaking way that I could have been prepared for this movie. I think This movie does exactly what we were talking about in Hawkeye, but they succeeded. Fan service, build up for the future, lovely, incredible bookend for a trilogy. But I loved this Spider-Man movie. Doctor Strange in this movie was awesome as well. Like, bruh, everything felt so cohesive. Everything felt right. Especially just because of even how the Peters came into existence and all that stuff in this movie. I loved it all. This movie gave us some of the dopest scenes that I think we've ever got from the MCU. The Like when we got all the Spider-Men jumping off and doing their swings, and even when we have them just having their regular conversation. Even the build up before that, the fight between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension, all of the villains coming in and Peter fighting all of them, Green Goblin coming out to be the actual villain, Peter losing Aunt May, and like, bruh, like, banger, bro. Like when Doc Ock grabs Peter and then his suit takes on the nanotechnology and it changes how it looks, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. When Green Goblin Norman Osborn goes to Aunt May and's like, I don't even exist in this reality. There is no Oscorp. There is no Harry. 10 out of 10. When he turns evil and starts going crazy and him and Peter are fighting through the hotel to Happy's apart, bruh, comic book, legit comic book. Like Spider-Man No Way Home is a live action comic book. There is nothing else to say about it. Bro, that, like, Spider-Man No Way Home has to be the most incredible comic book movie that we have ever got, ever, right? Because if you guys aren't here a lot, you'll know I say this is something that I say a lot. There is a difference between superhero movies and comic book movies. Superhero movies are movies that have superheroes in it, and there's not a lot of fan service. There's not anything about, like, there's no comic book relation to what's going on, really. It's just kind of like a movie about a superhero. It is a rendition of a superhero. It is the producer or the writer or the director giving their take on what this would be. It's not an actual comic book movie, right? Spider-Man No Way Home is a comic book movie to the fullest degree of what that could mean. The introduction of other characters, the way stuff happens in it, it feels like Spider-Man No Way Home is a comic book, a movie, and a video game all wrapped into one that had a baby, and that was No Way Home. Like, that is exactly what it is, because that's just what it is, bro. Like, there's moments in fight scenes where it feels like you are controlling Spider-Man almost on a video game, and it's like it's just waiting for you to press the button to do the next thing. Like, you can tell that every person that was a part of making that movie have watched every Spider-Man movie, have seen every Spider-Man game, and have read multiple Spider-Man comics, because it embodied everything that Spider-Man is. Like, Tom Holland in that movie, he became Spider-Man. Like, before that, he really wasn't Spider-Man. I'm not even gonna lie. He was like Spider-Boy type shit. Like, in every other movie before this one, he was not Spider-Man. But by the end of this movie, we have Spider-Man. Not only all the stuff that I just said, but this is also the first time that we have got a trilogy as a origin story. Okay? Like, that is why it's so dope as well, is because this is how Peter becomes Spider-Man. Peter Parker and Spider-Man are not the same person type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between those two. And this movie This movie wedged the gap of, yeah, there is a difference between Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And this is Spider-Man. This is not just Peter Parker anymore, you know? Like, and I am all the way there for it. Like 10 billion%. Give it to me, baby. Like, I need more. And I love Spider-Man No Way Home. Literally probably one of my favorite movies in Phase 4. I don't know if it is my favorite, but it's one of my favorite. Definitely an S tier movie. Love the build up. Love the fact that what the events in Loki are the reason why the spell went so haywire, because of the multiverse being broken. Like, what I kind of like to think in my head canon a little bit is like, as they're doing that spell, Sylvie is stabbing the one above, which actually is kind of what happens because that's happening throughout all of time at the same time. So at that same time, those events are going on, and when everything is ripped away from them and they're like floating in nothingness, that is the exact moment when the multiverse is being split up. So as he's talking and saying all the Peters, there are multiple Peters that are coming into existence in the multiverse that have always existed, but they're actually coming into existence at the same time. So it's causing everything to go haywire, and then boom, that's how you get villains that know Peter, and that's how you get the other Peters coming in and all of the things. Yes, that's just how I feel about that. That's my headcanon, and I'm sticking to that. So I love Spider-Man No Way Home. Definitely S tier. Like I said, I mean, we ain't even got to discuss No Way Home. It's just understood at this point. Banger. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact, Beezy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Because, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, so this movie is more stuff needs to be like No Way Home in all actuality, bruh. I mean, the sky was the same color as it was when Sylvie broke time. LOL. Big facts. That is a big fact. But that could also just be because of them doing the stuff. But yeah, I hope that's the reason why. I hope the reason why the sky is the same color, because that is exactly, like, that's the same thing that I was saying when we saw the movie. It was like, yo, the sky is the same exact color. Even when you see the other villains in the clouds, that is the same color, and I'm pretty sure you can see the timeline strands going in the back, if I'm not mistaken, or you see something similar to that. So yeah, bro, like, give it to me, baby. Give it to me. But once again, it's one of those things that can't be confirmed unless Kevin Feige said something. So I'm happy he did say something, but it's just one of those things. It's like, bruh, there's not really a way that they can tell us that and it not be cheesy, Like, I don't know. Like, bro, they could do a they could do a Legends for that. Like, because I just started watching the Legends on Disney Plus. Them things is crazy fire. All right, Moon Knight is next, baby. I really had a great time with Moon Knight. Moon Knight went a lot of places that I didn't expect it to. I'm not gonna lie. I think that is actually an issue for a lot of people. But as for me, it is actually not a big issue that they went in such a different direction with it. When my guy started flying at the end, I was like, okay, what the hell is happening? But other than that, I was okay with it. Like, the whole flying in the kaiju fight was like, what the hell? But everything before the kaiju fight, I was there for. And the flying. I was there for it all the way. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, everything that they gave us was amazing up until the kaiju fight, bruh. Like, the kaiju fight was wild. I don't know what the hell was going on. Did they do a build-up to that kaiju fight? Yes. Did I think it was going to happen? No. Like, I definitely didn't think we were going to see a giant crocodile with, dreadlocks or nothing. But we did. And it was eating folks. And that was crazy. And I'm more concerned as to why the hell we haven't heard about that than I am about the Eternals thing. Because where Eternals took place was like in the middle of freaking nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, it's not like they was doing that shit off the coast of Coney Island or something, and off the coast of Hawaii. Like, that shit was in the middle of nowhere. So it makes sense as to why it's not, front page news, is because it's not like it was happening in the middle of New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happened somewhere no one knows. Like, just somewhere. You feel me? So, but bruh, there was millions of people around that saw the night sky changing and saw giant kaijus fighting. And it's not like there was a Thanos snap that erased everyone's freaking memory. You feel me? So that's what the hell we need answers to, Sway. Like, that's the one that we need to know what the hell is going on about. Not nothing else. But the story in Moon Knight, loved it. The story of trauma in Moon Knight, holy shit, it was crazy. And it was definitely something that I didn't expect. Oscar Isaac definitely tackled that incredibly. Being able to do that split personality, finding out the reason behind the split personality, really being able to see how the effects of something like that can cause a lot of issues on the psyche of somebody, right? Being able to really dive deeper into these meanings of it, being able to dive deeper into the meaning of what this mental illness stuff actually embodies and entails, right? Like, it's something that is actually looked down upon and not really talked about enough in our society, is the overall effect that mental health has within, like, for men. Like, really, like, people sleep on the mental health thing for men and for everyone, period. That's just something that is slept on in society generally. And the Falcon and the Winter Soldier did a good job of this too, of really showing how important it is to understand who you are and why you are who you are, right? Like, those are things that are so important. It's like, bro, if you don't really get to the bottom of these things, you can never truly live your life. You can never truly be who you are destined, quote unquote, to be, or who you want to be, because all of these things are going to keep getting in your way and causing you to not be able to see past what is, like, basically right here in your face. You can get tunnel vision, or you can get blinders, because you're not dealing with the things that have affected you emotionally, physically, mentally, all of these things. And that's something that Phase 4 entirely did a big job of focusing on, is what it means to actually help yourself and look at your own mental health and be able to utilize that and move forward. And I'm not trying to get all nothing about anything, but I do think that is why a lot of men in general had a big issue with Phase 4, because it was because of the things that Phase 4 was standing on are things that men are generally not supposed to look into in society. And that's where I'm going to leave that one at. You feel me? Like, but that's really how I feel, because like it says, this is a reactionary phase. It is about the grief. It is about emotion. It is about the feels. It is about the vibes. It is about digging deeper into all these different things. And each one of these shows did it in its own way, all the way down to Shang-Chi, how he had to heal from his, like, he had to heal with his father and all this stuff that was going on there. And, like, bro, these are real things that are happening in society right now. And, having to live up to the ideas that your parents are, create for you. That was a big thing in Shang-Chi. Like, his dad wanted him to basically help him become, do what he was trying to do. It's like, there's these expectations. There are these things that are looked at and, like I said, expected of you within society as being a man, as being your parents' child, as being a father, whatever it is. There are these expectations, and I think Phase 4 did a very good job of allowing people, like, of not allowing people, but of representing that fact for a lot of different people. I mean, you look at, Black Widow, she's basically in a foster family, and how, like, any family is family. Like, that was Yelena's biggest thing. It's like, just because we're a foster family doesn't mean we're not a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still my sister. They're still our parents. This is how we rock. And that's facts. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I think those are dope things. And Moon Knight even though Moon Knight went freaking insane at the end of it and went balls to the wall crazy to the maximum degree, it still with the real things that it was talking about, it was very tethered and it was very grounded in that fact. Even though it went to the huge kaiju, cosmic, mystical, well, I think that's more mystical stuff, mystical kaiju battle stuff happened, it still stayed very true to being grounded in a different way. And I do understand that a lot of people had an issue with Moon Knight not being like the ground level hero that we expect him to be, but they had to build out the supernatural mystical side some way, somehow. And an Egyptian moon god that takes over a mercenary and gives him abilities is probably the best way to go with the mystical side of things instead of keeping him ground level. That doesn't sound too ground level to me. You feel me? Like, getting powers from a god does not sound like you should be a ground level villain. But he still may be, but like, so he's gonna be a ground level villain when it comes to the mystical side of things, though, right? Like, I could see that all the way. And the fight scenes in Moon Knight were pretty dope. My guy was getting freaking stabbed and speared and like gutted, and that was all pretty crazy. I really did it was dope. I'm not gonna lie. It was like, holy crap, they're going there with this. I'm pretty sure my guy was killing people. No, he did kill. I think he killed everyone in that scene that was coming at him. I'm pretty sure he killed every single one of those dudes that he was fighting. A lot of people died in Moon Knight. I think people forget, but a lot of people died in Moon Knight. That shit was dope. He's definitely more of like an anti-hero type of vibe than just a regular hero. And I don't even think anybody really noticed that or talked about it, really. Nah, I don't think it was really talked about. The things that they changed about Moon Knight, I don't have an entirely big deal with per se. Like, I'm actually not that mad that they took him away from feeling more like Batman. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad that we didn't get like the billionaire dude. Like, I'm not really mad at none of that, you know. I'm happy that we got the serial killer guy at the end. I thought that was a huge dub. So, yeah, I think when it comes to Moon Knight, let's see what else was dope about Moon Knight. Villain was dope. The character development in Moon Knight was really awesome. I loved how his girlfriend became like the Scarlet Scarab, right? I believe that's what it is. I think that was her. That's what her name is. How she became the Scarlet Scarab. I really appreciated that. I think that was one of the dopest things about Phase 4 is that every single show introduced us. Everything introduced us to someone new. It did not just focus on what we already knew and the old way of things. It gave us something. It gave us new character, like at least one new character in everything that we got, and I really appreciated that. I loved the whole split between Moon Knight and Moon Knight. Basically, I love the split between the personalities of like, yo, what the hell is going on, and yo, I'm supposed to be controlling the body. No, I'm supposed to be controlling the body, and then the cohesive agreement to become basically one type of vibe. Really love that. Probably my least favorite thing was how they changed Mr. Knight, but at the same time, I didn't have super big issue with it because he was still really dope to me in a lot of ways. So I'm okay with it. I'm not against it, but it definitely could have, been better. And I don't. Okay, so I won't say that they missed the landing. I don't know. Oh shit! Why is my what? Yeah, I'm not sure why they could. I don't know, man. I won't say that they didn't stick the landing, but they definitely stumbled. Like, You know, when the gymnastics, when they do it, and then if they land and they don't land on their feet, they deduct points if they like stumble. Them they stumbled hard. Like, I won't say they knees hit the ground, but they took a couple steps and they was like, oh, 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 oh. And then they got their balance and it was like, ta-da! You feel me? Like, that's how Moon Knight was. But it was still dope. But I think I'm gonna have to put this in the B tier. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to put that at B tier just because, you know, they had some interesting choices, and I don't know, man. Uh, yeah, yeah, I'll say B tier just because, like I said, man, they did some really interesting things. I really did appreciate all the Egyptian god things that they dove deeper into, but overall, it just didn't. Like I said, I don't think they stuck the landing at the end. The kaiju battle threw me all the way off, and then just things along the lines of that, and I want to see Moon Knight somewhere else, and I think I need to see Moon Knight again before I can truly appreciate season one of Moon Knight. So I don't know if there's going to be a season two or whatever, but I think I need a season two of Moon Knight to actually be able to appreciate season one. And I know that sounds wild, but that's just kind of how I feel. Like, I felt like we got left on a cliffhanger, and I feel like even though they answered a lot of questions, they raised so many more that the questions that they answered, it didn't even matter that they answered them. That's kind of how I left feeling out of Moon Knight, to be completely honest. So I'm a fan, but not the biggest fan. Like, I love Moon Knight, but it's like, damn. So yeah, I think B is safe to say. Next up, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Marvelousness. Like, bruh, I freaking love this movie. Holy shit. This movie is amazing. I think I think that this movie has everything that I wanted it to have and a little bit more. Like, I was bummed at first when we started finding out that we weren't going to get the cast that we thought we were, or get all the cameos that we thought we were going to be getting in Multiverse of Madness. Um, but once you find out that they all get murdered by Scarlet Witch, it's like, bruh, I'm actually okay with not having any of the cast that we got. You know what I mean? The cast that we thought we were going to get. The fact that she meticulously slaughters the Illuminati is amazing. After Endgame, like, you guys can probably go back and find the video, but after Endgame, I said, I think me and Battery both were like, Scarlet Witch is 100% going to be the villain going forward. Watching WandaVision, we were like, we're kind of just waiting for her to turn and be the villain, because this just does not seem right. And then the end of WandaVision makes it feel like, oh, she's still a hero. And then you see her doing the Darkhold, and it's like, oh shit, she's a villain still. And then Multiverse of Madness, it kind of does the same thing, and it's like, oh, you think she's gonna be a hero? And then it's like, nah, bruh, she died. She didn't die a hero. She died a villain. Oh, wait, she didn't die at all. It was a finesse. She ain't dead. She's coming back. Give me more, you know? Like, that shit was incredible, bro. It was incredible. Scarlet Witch being the main villain of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was a genius idea because they introduced that Scarlet Witch actually is a witch in WandaVision. She's not just, she doesn't just have powers from an Infinity Stone. The Infinity Stone only amplified her magic, my guy. Like, it only amplified the chaos magic that she had access to since a child. And that fact, going into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, seeing her at the end of WandaVision, calling out and looking for her children through the Darkhold, looking in those different multiverses, and that be the exact same thing that she is still doing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is crazy good storytelling, okay? Like, a lot of people slept on that. That it was a literal continuation from one thing to the next. Like, that was build up to seeing a villain become a villain. And let's not forget, Scarlet Witch was a hero for like 2 years. And like, we got introduced to her as a villain. Like, her whole arc is starting as a villain. Like, it's not starting as a hero. It's not starting as like, like her and her brother didn't get kidnapped and to the program that was experimenting on them. Like, they volunteered for that program because they wanted to go and murder some people because their parents died by the bomb. Like, that is direct correlation. Like, there is nothing else. Like, it's just kind of mind-blowing that a lot of people were saying, like, oh, it doesn't make sense how she became a villain when, like, her whole thing about WandaVision was that she was the main villain. Like, that was the whole point. Like, Sword was there because Wanda was the villain. Like, they knew this. I don't know why we didn't get it as a people, as a collective. Some of us did, but a lot of us didn't. My man says, man, she absolutely wrecked the Illuminati. Yeah, facts. Yeah, they got her powers right. For sure. Yes, I agree. Multiverse of Madness is really the sequel to WandaVision, and that is a great way to say it. That is a great way to put it as well. I think the fact that they couldn't have Benedict Cumberbatch come in at the end of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness the way that they wanted to, I think that just messed up a lot of stuff for people, and I think that messed up a lot of things for the MCU. The fact that they couldn't do that more, because I know they had more instances and examples of wanting to have those cameos in the different shows. If I'm not mistaken, the entire thing of all of the commercials that we see in WandaVision, they were supposed to be Doctor Strange reaching out to Wanda and like kind of trying to get her attention type of vibe, But alas, it was not. And he didn't even care about the Hex like that we find out in Multiverse of Madness. So it was like, I don't know, bro. But Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is an amazing movie. I loved it. I love the cameos. I love the cinematography. I love the fights. I love the magic. Everything about this was awesome. Scarlet Witch was dope. I definitely wish, though, that I'm happy about it and I'm not happy about it, about how we didn't get Scarlet Witch in her actual uniform when she was murdering everyone. I do understand the storytelling aspect of that because they wanted it to make it feel more creepy, and make it feel more evil. But I would have liked it if when she took over the body, she would have just went like, wah, you know what I mean? And put on her Scarlet Witch outfit and then went and wrecked havoc. Like, that would have been badass. I would have really liked that. And I loved the horror tones of the film because, initially this was supposed to be the film that we got Nightmare in, and it was supposed to be like super, super horror. But, it still was horror. But, man, I just feel that's just what it was. Like, that's just what it is. That's what it is. And I'm really, really, really still pleased with what we got from it. I just feel like WandaVision could have been better. I feel like we may have spent a little bit too much time in certain areas, and we could have spent more time in other. And this is another place where I feel like Marvel is really getting hurt by not having definitive at least 45-minute episodes per episode for every single show that they do. Like, that should be a thing, period. There's no reason it shouldn't be. And that's why if they need to do more special presentations or a limited series or something like that, that's what the hell they need to do, because 30, 35-minute, 28-minute episodes is not the strat, and it never will be. It's never going to be okay, like ever. Like ever, ever, ever. It's not going to be all right. So they got to figure out if they're going to do like 2 hours. And I'm not going to lie, the special presentations need to be a little bit longer too. But that's something that we can get into a little bit later. But that's just how I feel about that. So Multiverse of Madness, though, definitely S tier in my book. Loved it. Loved the cameos. Loved everything. No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, probably my 2 favorite ones. Like, definitely top tier all the way. Miss Marvel. Like I said, you're 100% right about the commercials. Yeah, those commercials, bruh. Like the commercials, all like, they almost don't make sense without that. But they do. But they almost don't. You know what I mean? But the fact that they do make sense is one of the reasons why this show is great, is because they still make sense even though they didn't have all the stuff that they wanted to do. You know, they still did the best that they can without having everything. And that's why I still do like WandaVision. And, you know, like, I'm doing my rewatch of Phase 4 right now, and I'm starting with WandaVision, and I'm like, yo, I actually really enjoy this. I really appreciate this, and I really also think that Marvel is getting hurt by the weekly thing a little bit if they're not going to have the 45-minute length episodes. Like if Disney Plus would put all of the episodes out at once and it actually be able to be consumed like a mini movie, it would be a lot better. But the fact that people can't go from one episode to the next episode and have to wait that week when we're used to getting these things as movies already, I think that's a really big downfall, and I think that's a really big detriment to Marvel. But I also appreciate the week by week thing, because then we are able to have watch parties here and are able to chill and vibe out, and that's awesome. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. So yeah, like I was saying, Miss Marvel. God damn it, I love me some Miss Marvel. It was wholesome. It was just feel good vibes. It was awesome, man. Like, I did not think I was gonna appreciate the show so much, but damn it, I did. I appreciated every single aspect of it, from the mom to the brother to the brother's wife to the dad to the grandma to the great grandma. Like, I loved it all. It was incredible. The storytelling, the way that they introduced us to the new characters and stuff like that, and the introduction of yet another secret city, dimension city thing. Like I was saying before, there is definitely a reason for all of these secret dimension cities coming into play right now. Don't know what the point of what it is, but there is definitely something about it. You know, I don't know if it's gonna all, you know, leak into like a Battle Worlds type of scenario to where we'll see all of these dimensions and planets and stuff kind of get put together, and that's why they're introducing them, or if we're gonna see Kang kind of take over all of the stuff, you know, like take over, like we're gonna see Kang like go through these different dimensions and kind of do stuff in these different dimensions, not just in these different universes. I'm not sure, but it's definitely something that we have to note, because we got a new dimension type of thing introduced and a lot of stuff. We got new city things like that introduced. That's just it. Like, it's like we got to pay attention to that. I do think it's going to mean something somewhere, some way. I don't know where, I don't know how, but it will. Miss Marvel was so great. Like, what does Mike Beasley say right here? Miss Marvel was the perfect switch up after what we got with the darker tones in Moon Knight. Yes, completely. The way that Moon Knight was, and that's something that I said periodically throughout our watch parties of Miss Marvel, is that what Moon Knight was for like how it was like definitely targeted to the adult audiences with, you know, just the themes, the actual stuff that was happening in them. It was all for the adult audiences, definitely more TVMA than PG-13, and then we got Miss Marvel that was definitely for the kids and for the younger audiences, and really embodying basically everything that anyone that loves Kamala Khan, I just can't see you not liking Miss Marvel. It's very hard for me to see that, only because she is Kamala Khan. Like, this actor literally embodies everything that Kamala Khan is. Like all the way, bro. Like, there's no question about it, like, at all. Miss Marvel, I can't think of the actress's name right now, and it's gonna bother me. So let me just see. Her name's right on the tip of my tongue too. Iman Vellani, bro. She did an amazing job of being Miss Marvel, and not only that, I think the supporting cast that she had around her did incredible. Not just her family, but also her friends. I loved Bruno. Like, Bruno was probably one of my other favorite parts of this show, and I want to see more Bruno because he's literally like a genius. And did Bruno get into MIT, or did he get into somewhere else? I feel like he got into MIT, and I might be mistaken, but it would be really dope to see him pop up in like Ironheart or something like that, you know? Like, I just really want to see Bruno in more places, because Bruno just is super smart, and he's like a little mini genius, and I would love to see him the guy in the chair for like the Young Avengers or something like that, you know? I don't know if he will become a superhero in the future, but I would love something like that. I know a lot of people were even saying he felt like a young Peter Parker type of thing or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but you know, it's whatever. So I didn't feel that way, but I do see him becoming like an Iron Lad type of character if they don't utilize the kid from the Iron Man movies that was also in Endgame at his funeral. If they don't utilize him as being Iron Lad, which I think may occur in Armor Wars, but if they don't do that, then I could see them using someone like Bruno Corelli instead of being Iron Lad or Iron Patriot, whoever they want to go with. But yeah, I was all the way there for that. And the way that they even incorporated true history, I think they did that in Moon Knight as well, but incorporated true history into what's going on in Miss Marvel, and showing how the 10 rings came into the possession of her family, and how they're actually not humans, you know what I mean? How they're actually Jinn. Well, at least her mom or her great grandmother was a Jinn, and then she's also like something like that. And I think that going into that and her being a mutant, I think all of that was a very good idea. I think creatively it was a great transition. I think Miss Marvel was so good. Like, I think Miss Marvel was so surprisingly good to so many people that it made them not like She-Hulk. Like, I know that sounds crazy, and I might be going out on a limb here, but I honestly do feel like Miss Marvel was so good in that way that it made, when She-Hulk came out, it made people not be able to really appreciate She-Hulk. And I don't know why, but that's just how it felt, you know what I mean? And the way that Miss Marvel connected to the rest of the MCU, but not with necessary, well, yeah, there was a lot of connective tissue, but more just, you know, in the continuity ways of showing like what what Ant-Man has been doing, and how he's been, you know, become basically a celebrity for the MCU and for the superheroes right now. And then seeing in the trailer for Ant-Man that he's like on the freaking red carpet with, you know, like that's awesome. I love it. It's awesome. The way that she nerds out, the fact that she even had a YouTube channel breaking down stuff that has happened in the MCU. The fact that we got like that whole little intro about what was going on within the past 5 years of the MCU or whatever, with the whole fight and the Avengers stuff and all that. Great. Incredible. Loved it. Like, give me more of all of that. The damage control in this, holy shit, was amazing. Really love how damage control is becoming more and more villainous in the MCU, right? Like, we get introduced to them, and I'm loving how we're getting introduced to them in more of the younger audiences movies and shows. Like, we get introduced to them really in the first Spider-Man movie, and then we see how much, and then even in the last Spider-Man movie in No Way Home, they're even in there, and I love that they're kind of looking more towards the younger generation of everything, and they're not really dealing with the older people, like as we've seen as of late, though. And I would love for for Damage Control to turn into something that goes against the goes against the mutants at some point or something like that, because it definitely seems that they're on that type of path of becoming anti-mutant more than anti-hero, right? Like, so I think that's a very possible way that we could see a shift in that, and Sword just handling all the hero type of stuff, and then Damage Control start to handle more of the mutants and things along the lines of that, especially when they find out about mutants. Like, that, once the world finds out about mutants in the MCU, it's going to be a completely different ballgame. And if the reports about General Thunderbolt Ross being the president and also being a Red Hulk are true, it's going to get real spicy when they find out there are other people that are not, that regular people can just have latent abilities just unlock randomly. And I am all for the whole mutants and Inhumans becoming one thing in the MCU, even though I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm all for that if it does happen. Yeah, it was MIT. Oh, okay. I love where you put Eternals. Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. Hey, I appreciate you, Pina Colada. We talk about Eternals a lot around here, bro, and we love us some Eternals. Even though a lot of people don't like Eternals, we do. We love us some Eternals all the way around. Up, down, left, and right. We love Eternals every day and every night. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. I don't know, man. I just... I really just think that, I don't know, man. Yep, there was a 10 ring symbol in there too, subtle connectivity. Yeah, the 10 rings symbol was where she found the it's not called the bracelet. It's not called the bracelet. It's not called the bracelet. It's called the bangle, right? That's where she found one of the bangles. And I'm definitely along the lines of those bangles and the 10 rings belong to Kang the Conqueror. Like, some way, shape, or form, they belong to him. Before what I was saying was that everything was connected to a completely different thing, and I thought everything was connected to to Chthon in some way. Like Shang-Chi's dad, Wanda with what she was doing, even these bangles here, I definitely thought all of those were connected. I knew they were connected, but I thought they were going to be connected with Chthon more, and it'd be like Chthon is trying to get out or whatever, and he has imbued whatever property into whatever for those things, so yeah, I still think that those 10 rings and the bangles are connected and are also connected to Kang. 100%, that's what I believe. So yeah. Don't know how that connects to the 10 rings or anything, but that could have been like how he got trapped into the universe. Like, he had his and that's kind of what I think he wants Scott Lang to steal for him, because as all of the Ant-Man movies have been, I believe this is going to also be a heist of some kind, and I just think that this heist is going to be him having to steal either the bangles or the 10 rings. And I think that would be awesome. I just think he wants his stuff back. That's really what I think. I think he can't get out of there because he needs his stuff back. And, like, if we see Kang with, like, the bangles and then the rings connect to the, you know what I mean? And then the rings are like, ding, 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 up to his arm, because there's 2 bangles. There's not just one. There's 2 bangles. The same way there's 5 rings on each arm, 1 bangle on each wrist. That just seems like boom, boom, and then we might find something else out, and then that's another piece of his armor, and then when he's wearing everything, he's like on another level, or it's like a key to something, and he has to put the 10 rings in something, and then the gauntlets are how he controls everything. I don't know, but I think that would be a very dope way to kind of get some stuff going on. I would love it. Also with her friends and the fighting, and there was like, Miss Marvel was cheesy, but it was cheesy in a really good way because it was like cheesy. It was like supposed to be cheesy, you know, like it was supposed to be cheesy. It was supposed to be fun, and it was. It was cheesy. It was fun. It was for children, but it wasn't so much for children that adults couldn't appreciate what they were doing with it. Um, I could see parents feeling like Miss Marvel's parents, and I could see the kids feeling like Miss Marvel. Like all of that was there. So for that, I loved Miss Marvel, and I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna put that in A tier. The reason why I'm not gonna put it in S tier. I'm trying to think. Why am I not gonna put it in S tier? Oh. The mom. Cameron. That wasn't it. A lot of that stuff. The ending got a lot cheesy, not a little bit. It got real cheesy towards the end of there. Um, and then bruh becoming like a bad dude and gaining powers. That was kind of cheese. And I wasn't big fans of that, you know. So some of those creative decisions were really weird. I loved the end with how, you know, Miss Marvel changed places with Captain Marvel, and I believe that's going to be something that reoccurs in the Marvels movie. They're going to be like switching places with each other very much, like periodically in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. And we're also supposed to get some Inhumans in that movie, if I'm not mistaken. We're supposed to get like Black Bolt, but not the same Black Bolt, of course, from Doctor Strange because he's dead, but another Black Bolt, you know. And yeah, I'm here for all of that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for the Marvels. And Miss Marvel was definitely a direct build up for the Marvels, and I did really appreciate it, and I did like it a lot. So yeah, that's definitely going to be A tier for me. Miss Marvel was dope. I loved it. I had such a great time. The first couple of episodes, the whole Scott Pilgrim type of vibe that they had, I loved it. And then I also loved that they didn't go overboard with it for the entire series. Like I just loved all of that. So they did really good jobs. They made a lot of good choices in my opinion. So yeah, I like it. Next up, Thor Love and Thunder. Man. All right. I truly believe, along with Black Widow, that Thor Love and Thunder is the worst thing that we have got from Phase 4. Like I know Hawkeye is also down there. I guess I could almost put Hawkeye in C, but Hawkeye bothered me so much that it has to stay in D. I was not a fan of Thor Love and Thunder. I think this movie is honestly trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not like this movie at all. I think there are some cool parts of the movie. Yeah, I think there's some dope stuff in the movie as well. Yes. I don't like this movie though. Way too humorous, not nearly as serious as it should be. Thor already had his trilogy, so once you start with a Thor 4, it should be a new beginning or a new chapter or anything like that. And this was very much so the same exact Thor in Ragnarok. I don't agree with that decision. I definitely think after Endgame and after everything that they all went through with Endgame, I definitely think that Thor would have not reverted to being such a douchemonger. Uh, I just don't think that is how that would have went down. It's just me personally, right? I don't think that Like I truly believe that Thor should have taken a way more Odin like stance within the MCU. Being the fact that there is no Odin, there is no protector of the nine realms. I think that Thor should have became that instead of being woe is me and all sad about Jane Foster. And just everything about this movie was wrong for me. Thor 100% should have been King Thor. Like not just King Thor, ruined King Thor, if anything, you know. Like I'm not even talking about Gore the God Butcher yet. I'm strictly talking about Thor. Thor should have been more mature. Thor should not have been so childish in his ways of thinking. Like he just shouldn't have. Like it just should not have happened that way. My guy is he regresses so much that it doesn't even make sense. You would think that the death of we see what the death of his brother causes him. I like what happens in between Infinity War and Endgame, how he becomes Fat Thor, all that type of stuff. Yeah, I could see that happening because Thor was just about to. I mean, even Thor and Thor Ragnarok was so much more mature than he is in Thor Love and Thunder, and there should not be a regression of his character, especially when you take into the fact what Odin had literally just told him. Before Loki dies in Infinity War and all that stuff happens, Odin tells him, bro, you got to get it together type of thing. You don't know who I was before. I was a different person. All this stuff is going to happen. It's like, my guy Thor, bro, you literally just you destroyed Asgard with your decision. Then you didn't even become king of Asgard afterwards because of the decision that you made. And then not only that, but then you also don't even, bro, I don't know, bro. It was not the strat. It wasn't a good decision. It was just weird, you know? My guy abandoned his people and went, with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I just can't see those decisions that he made happening in that way to where he's still the same exact person. And there's no character growth. There's no character development. He is sitting in he's wallowing in his sorrow for years now, not just those 5 years. Obviously chopping Thanos' head off, obviously fighting Thanos again doesn't do anything, but you would think that, your boy Tony Stark, seeing him sacrifice himself, seeing Captain America go through, sacrifice himself, you see, my guy Hulk is different now too. You would think that seeing all of this stuff around you would allow you to grow a little bit more as a character. Nah, bruh. Nope, it doesn't matter. Being in that giant battle that almost destroyed the world didn't really matter. You're still going to be the same exact dude. It's just another day for you in your 1,000 years of being alive. I'm not a fan of that. That's just me. The death of your mother, your father, your brother, and your friends did not cause, and then your lover did not cause you to change. So what's happening here, Thor has to make it. Thor, if there is another Thor movie, Taika Waititi can't make it, and Thor has to start being more mature, especially now that he is a father, 100%. Now, Jane Foster having cancer and dying from it, and also being Thor, causing her to die from it faster. That should not be a joke. Dying from cancer is not a joke. Bro, that should not have been a joke in that movie. That just should not have been there in that, that. None of that should have been taken lightly. I don't think Jane Foster should have went to being comedic as well because of the stuff that was going on in her life. That made no sense. Jane Foster wasn't like that before, so now she's dying. Now that's how there was just a lot of decisions that my man Taika made that was bruh, what is going on here, right? Like, what's happening? Um, Son of Heimdall, I wasn't okay with it, but I am okay with it at the same time. Really interesting decision. I'm not gonna lie. King Valkyrie, another thing that it's iffy for me. Um, my guy Korg, really, 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 should not be in the next Thor movie. Korg, I don't know if Korg needs to get his own standalone something, or Korg needs to go with the Guardians of the Galaxy or something, but Korg needs to kind of just move on from Thor stuff. And Thor, now that there's Love and Thunder, now that we have Thor and his daughter, I have no idea where that's gonna go. I don't really care either because I'm not a fan of that either. You're like, I don't know, man. A lot of decisions. We got Gore the God Butcher being the worst iteration that we could have got of Gore the God Butcher. Like, Jesus, like, I don't even know what was going on there. I don't think they even knew who Gore was. Like, that is the last thing that I expected from that performance was what we got with Gore the God Butcher. Like, my guy was literally, my guy was Voldemort. Like I'm pretty sure Christian Bale took inspiration from Voldemort for that performance. And that's just no. That's just a whole bunch of no. The damn goats bad in this movie. Holy shit. Oh my God. I'm not even going to start talking about those goats because I'm going to get really pissed off because those goats really pissed me off. That movie really pissed me off. Like, I've never been pissed off at a movie before, but that movie had me like genuinely angry. Like, I was like, whoa, this is terrible. And my wife was like, oh my God, that was my favorite Thor movie ever. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like, but it's okay. It's okay. It's subjective, but for me, trash. If there was an F tier, I would put it there. Like, I wouldn't even put it in a tier, to be honest. Like, I do not like this movie. They did some badass things in this movie. The fighting was badass. I'm not going to lie to you. Jane Foster, badass. She was awesome. But everything else was ass, bro. Like, everything else was just not it for me at all. This movie was a massive L for me in every way, shape, or form. Thor: Love and Thunder was just disastrous. It was disastrous. And I cannot believe it. I can't believe that movie even happened like that. You know, I can't believe Kevin Feige let that shit slide, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, we got She-Hulk. I like She-Hulk because unlike Thor: Love and Thunder, She-Hulk was very honest about what it was up front. Ally McBeal, comedic, I think it was like supposed to be like, I can't think of what the type of storytelling it is. I don't think it's non-linear, but it's something like that, you know? Like, it was like, they let us know right off the bat what we were getting into. This is going to be not a cinematic, a sitcom. Like, you know, this is going to be a comedic sitcom type of show, you know, villain of the week type of thing. You know, these are the vibes that we're going to have. We're going to have some dope-ass cameos in here, too, and we're going to have fun with it. And I think that's exactly what they did. I think they had fun with it. I think they teased the hell out of the audience as well. You know, like, I think I truly think that might be the biggest, like, that's the funniest thing about the show is that they, like, they trolled the audience, like, basically. The audience got trolled. It was awesome to see. I'm not gonna lie. I love when we as the audience kind of get trolled. But when it's done in a fun way, and it's like, aha, like, you know, haha, we got you. Not like, you know, everything that you love about this, we're gonna take and destroy. You know, I don't want to get trolled like that. And we didn't get trolled like that. We got trolled like, the fact that they're all, talk about Twitter armor and stuff like that. Like they knew how the audience was going. They knew how audience was going to respond to the show. They knew people were going to be hating. They knew it all. Like they basically called a portion of the portion of the fandom the intelligentsia. Like that's basically what the point of the show was. It was like, yeah, no, we know that we have the intelligentsia in the fandom. That's basically what they were doing, which was insane. And I was like, oh, like when it happened, I was like, whoa. And like, I couldn't help but literally laugh hysterically because it was like, damn, like people, like everything that people are tripping about, they literally knew that they were going to be tripping about it, and they like put it in the show. They put it in the show. And that's hilarious that they put that in the show like that. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, bro, what? Like, is this real? Did they really do this like this? Like, did they really just troll the audience in this way and say like, yo, nah, this is it? Like, bro, what? Okay. I guess. So yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I love the cameos that we got from it with Wong, with the Frogman dude too. Also with Abomination. I loved those. Like that was all awesome to get them in there, like, and get a little bit more story with them. Loved Hulk in it as well. Hulk is awesome. I love Bruce Banner. He's so funny, bro. Like Hulk, Banner, like they're funny, bro. Like I don't think they're funny. Like Smart Hulk is funny, and I think Smart Hulk is, I don't know, bro. Smart Hulk is a vibe to me, and I really hope that they do improve on that and like utilize him to. I want Smart Hulk to go into like Savage Hulk or like World Breaker Hulk or whatever, and I think that is coming. Even getting Scar in this was a freaking crazy dub. Of course, Daredevil is amazing and awesome. Like there's not even, like, I shouldn't even have to mention that. Like that Daredevil episode alone, like was like, it was amazing. The whole, I really enjoy this series, but that Daredevil episode alone was just peak level to me. I enjoyed it because it was like, super sitcom-y. I enjoyed that they did the modern day version of She-Hulk jumping out of the comic book and talking to the illustrators. They just did it in like I said, the modern day Disney Plus version. Like she gets out of the panel. Like that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, bro, I loved that, and there's a lot of stuff that I didn't like about the show. Like the CGI definitely wasn't consistent. I definitely feel like they didn't. I definitely feel like they teased us a little bit too much about certain things. I think it could have been a little bit longer as well, but once again, it's a sitcom, so I guess it's okay that it wasn't longer, but it could have been longer. And they could have actually put a little bit more into it plot-wise and, like, actually had a story composed. But I think what they did with it wasn't terrible. I don't think it was terrible at all. So, of course, it's not the best thing on Disney Plus. It's not the best thing Marvel's ever done, but it's also not the worst thing they've ever done. Just because of all of the, once again, implications that it has for the future of the MCU, and the fact that it did give us a lot of fan service in the means of, the name drops and the Easter eggs, and saying that Wolverine kind of exists in the MCU, and then talking about the Eternal, like the giant. I'm pretty sure they talked about the giant hand sticking out of the ocean. You know what I mean? Like they talked about it. It hasn't been like brought up in a huge way, but they did talk about it in the show. The way they utilize the news in She-Hulk is the way that the news should be utilized throughout the entire MCU. Of like, oh hey, we brought in this, we brought in that, like the fight that happened in Shang-Chi actually appearing on the news in She-Hulk. That was awesome, bro. That was awesome. There's like, and we need more stuff like that to happen throughout the rest of the MCU. So it's like I said, like they got a lot of things right, but they also got a lot of things wrong with She-Hulk. So I don't know if there's a season 2 or whatever, but I think that they should take a lesson from all of their Disney Plus shows, since this is our last Disney Plus show. The other one is the special presentation, but from all of the Disney Plus shows, I think that they definitely need uh to take a lesson from each of the shows. And I think that's why it's so smart that they made all of these shows so different from each other, because they were really able to use it and experiment and see what some fans do like, what some fans don't like, what some fans do like, and what some fans don't like for every single property. And now they're able to take all of that and no doubt formulate a crazy MCU for the future, because it's like, okay, now we know what we can and what we can't get away with. Kaiju battles? No. Like we're not going to be able to get away with kaiju battles. I'm pretty sure the majority of the fandom feels that way about Moon Knight. Is like, bruh, you had me until the kaiju battle, like that. You had me every step of the way until that last episode. And then it just kind of was like, So, yeah. And like I said, I like She-Hulk, but there's a lot of stuff that I think they could have did differently within She-Hulk and changed within She-Hulk. But it's not trash to me by any means necessary. And it's not like, damn, I can't believe they did it. Like, nah, it's not on that level for me. So I will put that B tier because I did appreciate it. I liked the things that they did. I liked the jokes that they had. I was laughing in the episodes that they did. I was there for it. It was kind of wild to me how much hate She-Hulk was getting. It was insane. Like, I don't think we've ever seen that really happen with the MCU before in that way, where it was like such a wave of not even like, oh, I'm not a fan of this, but downright pure hatred from so many people for reasons that were really weird. And we're like, what? So yeah, I don't know. But I was here for it. I know a lot of people who did have a good time with it. Like I said, my wife liked this too. A lot of people had a good time with She-Hulk, but man, a lot of people were triggered by She-Hulk, and it was like, you got a lot of Hulk Tods out there. You feel me? And it was like, damn, son, you know what I mean? And I mean, hey, like the things that they were saying about She-Hulk, like, weren't entirely wrong. They was just really out of pocket for the way that they were going about doing stuff, like for real, like they like were setting up video cameras. I was like, bro, what? Like, whoa, like what's happening? They were wilding. Like, I was like, yo, what's going on here? No, sir, can we get up out of here? But other than that, though, I think they did a solid job of bringing everything together and really letting it be known, like, yo, Jen, aka She-Hulk, does not have it together. She is not, like, she doesn't have her anger under control, like she was telling Hulk, and that was like the whole point. Like, a lot of people were really furious about that and was like, yo, I can't believe She-Hulk thinks she has it together more than the Hulk after all the Hulk's been through. And it's like, no, that's the point. She doesn't. Yes, she's lying. Like, we know this. We know she's lying about having it together. That is not a surprise. Like, follow along, you guys. Like, this is part of the plot. Like, yes, she clearly doesn't have it together. She is clearly a struggling alcoholic, drinking every single day, Like, she had hella issues. She-Hulk had hella issues internally, mentally. Look at her parents, how they were. Look at everything around her. Everything around her was just, it set her up to not be all the way there. And that was part of her character development, was to kind of realize how much she wasn't actually there, and to realize how much she actually wasn't in control like she thought she was, and to really let her take a step back and look at herself, which I think was a big element of that fourth wall breaking thing, is like her being able to really look at herself and analyze what's going on within her own life, and being able to control it and make a decision in her own life, because everyone else is always controlling her and making her decisions for her, type of vibe. So she literally steps out of her own show and is like, no, y'all are doing a shit job of controlling my life, So let me control it. I like that. I thought it was cool. I don't think it was as clever as they were trying to make it, but I do think it was cool, and I did like it, and I appreciate it. And like I said, I thought some of them jokes were mighty damn funny. Let's not forget. You know what I mean? Like, I was rolling at some parts of that show. I'm not even gonna lie. All right. Next up, Werewolf by Night. Okay, baby. So this is our first special presentation that we have on the list, and our first special presentation that we have had ever in the history of the MCU. And this was a bloody dub. And when I say bloody dub, I mean that in every way, shape, or form. This was the bloodiest W of them all. It was unexpected. It was riveting. The story was freaking awesome. It was super different because it was black and white, and it was shot in a Hitchcock 1970s horror film type of vibe, 60s, 50s, I don't even know, but just old school horror movie type of vibe, and that black and white Nosferatu type of feeling to it, and I loved it. Great Halloween special. I'm hoping that all special presentations are not holiday specials, because so far we had the Halloween special with the Werewolf by Night, and then we had the Christmas special with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they also said something about Easter. So I'm like, in the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, they said something about Easter, and he was like, "I'll see you next Easter." So I'm hoping that we don't get some Guardians thing for Easter. I'm hoping we don't get some Marvel thing for Easter and have Kevin Bacon in it. I just don't want that. But I do hope we get more special presentations, in the fact of it just being a special presentation, not necessarily connected to anything holiday wise, I mean. But Werewolf by Night was amazing because it didn't introduce us as much, but it just did it. No, I guess it did introduce us to the supernatural side of things. Like it really gave us a ground level view of what else is going on within the MCU. It's not just superheroes shit going on. It's not just superheroes and aliens, basically. There's also supernatural elements that are around us and are occurring all the time. It's not like a one and done type of thing. It's happening all the time. And I really appreciate that like a lot. So when we look at Werewolf by Night and the things that it set up for the future, that's going to be another thing that is going to age like fine wine, in my opinion, to where once we start getting like Blade, Black Knight, like, and all that other supernatural shit, Midnight Suns, and really start diving deeper into all of that, that's when I think we're really going to be having a good time. I would really appreciate the Midnight Suns team to be like Blade, Black Knight, Werewolf by Night, have Man-Thing in there. Maybe get a little bit we can even get the lady that was in there, that Bloodstone, Victoria Bloodstone, or Vistel, whatever her name was, Bloodborne, something like that. We can get her in there or something like that. I would just love all of that to happen. I don't know how, but I'm here for it, especially with the mystical sides of things coming into play more. I think that's better to say than supernatural, just because there's like mystical and supernatural. I guess mystical and supernatural can be used interchangeably, because mysticism has a very big role in what is supernatural, and vice versa. Like, supernatural has a lot to do with what is mystical, right? So I guess supernatural and mystical are used interchangeably, but it's very interesting to see, like, even when you begin with that, it has the Avengers in it, it has the Avengers like picture, and then it goes and says, but this is the other world that there also is outside of that. And I think that's beautiful. I think it's incredible, and I think it really allows us to see what the hell is actually going on here. Like, how do we actually like roll with this, like what's actually going on in the MCU. And not only that, but it was also our first thing that was like rated R. You know, like bro was ripping people's arms off, and there was blood everywhere, and people were dying left and right, and it was awesome. It was insane, and I don't think anyone really expected for there to be so much crazy murder, blood, sport thing going on. I would love if you could put this into color on like for the movie, like if you could watch it also in color, not just black and white. I think that would be incredible. And I would love to see how the vibe changes with that. You know, like does that actually affect how the movie is? Is the movie better because it's black and white, or what is the case with that? But a lot of us went in thinking that this wasn't going to be canon to the MCU, and like within the first 10 seconds of it being on screen, it's like you have the superheroes, but there are also supernatural stuff going on. It's like, holy shit! And then we're introduced to a team of supernatural bounty hunters that are basically hunting werewolves and vampires and all this type of shit down consistently. They're hunting them down consistently and murdering them as well. And you know it's been going on for years. And I'm just really interested how that is going to coordinate with like something like Blade or something like Black Knight that also has these ties to these supernatural entities in some way, shape, or form. Do they know about each other? Like, what's the word? Like, is Bird the word? How is this going to happen? You know, we're seeing Blade get an entire rewrite, rework everything down to the bones and back up. And I'm hoping that a lot of the stuff that we have in the MCU now with Phase 4 can somehow be weaved into there. So I really appreciate Werewolf by Night. I thought the way it looked, I thought the story was awesome. I thought the blood and gore and stuff like that was really dope. I thought it was just a nice plus to everything that was going on. And I also really do think that they did an incredible job, and I cannot wait for more of the special presentations. I think one of the only things that I didn't like about it was that it was kind of short. It wasn't super short, but it was kind of short, but I loved it. I don't even know if I should put this in S tier or A tier, to be honest, because I really loved Werewolf by Night like a lot. Like I really appreciated that for everything that it was. So I don't know where I should put it, and I'm trying to figure out if I had any huge issues with it, and I can't say that I did. I thought everything about that was freaking awesome all the way to the ending, but for some reason it's not letting me put it in S tier. But I mean, it's the first of its kind, and it was great. It was great. Everything about it was great for being the first of its kind. But I don't know. Something's just telling me to put it in A and not S. Yeah. So I'll put that in A tier. And then we got Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Oh my God. This movie was incredible, okay? I highly enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed every single thing in this movie that they did. Literally everything that they did. Even the things that I don't agree with, I still liked it because it was still done so damn well. And I think we also found out today or this week or within the last 2 weeks that the original story that was going to be used was very similar to what we got anyway. Like the story that they had with T'Challa is very similar to what we got. We would have still had Namor. We would have still had Talocan. We would have still had like all of those things. But the biggest difference would have been T'Challa would have been dealing with the loss of time and not the actual. We wouldn't have been dealing with the actual loss of somebody, right? A kingdom without their king for 5 years. What does that look like? What is different? All that type of stuff. So all of that would have still been the same. I believe the Vibranium War type of thing would have still been the same as well. But it's just not that anymore. So I think this movie is a W. I loved Talokan. I loved Namor. I loved Shuri. Shuri did a banging job. Letitia Wright came out and really did a banging job. As much as this movie is supposed to be a sequel, it really is a restart of the movies. So this isn't even Black Panther 2. This is like Wakanda Forever 1, you know? And I think that's really good. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's a good thing that they did that, because I don't think you can't have Black Panther 2 without T'Challa. It's really not possible. I don't think they would have been able to successfully even recast T'Challa and have those vibes be even close to what it is on set, you know? Like, they were a family. They loved Chadwick Boseman. And Chadwick Boseman loved the cast as well. You know, like, there was a lot of love just spread throughout that cast and throughout the making of that movie. And I don't think there is any way that they could have recast him and we would have been okay with it. I don't think there really is an actor that would have even been okay with taking that place or taking that mantle at all. I really don't think anyone would have been okay with even doing that. I don't think it would have been. I just don't think that would have been it. And then everybody would have been like, "Oh, Marvel's such a cash grab." I mean, even more than they kind of said that already. But that would have really went crazy if that was the case. Ironheart, I love, and as I've been saying, Phase 4 feels the most like a comic book to me than anything else has up until this point, and I am all the way here for it. I really do appreciate it. I really do like it. I love it almost. Like, not almost, I do love it. I love that like I said, we've got introduced to a new character in every single project. There's about 16 projects right here, and we've been introduced to a new character in every single one of them. So that's 16 new characters. At the least, at the minimum, that's how many we've been introduced to. Because, stuff like Black Widow introduced us to 3 new characters. And of those 3, really introduced us to like 4 new characters. And of those 4 new characters, 3 of them are going to be returning in the MCU, right? Hawkeye introduced us to like 3-4 new characters. Thor Love and Thunder introduced us to 3 new characters. The Falcon and Winter Soldier, 3-4 new characters. Like, it goes on and on and on. Everything gave us 3 to 4 new characters. What, at least 1 to 3 new characters for sure, right? Every single project has given us somewhere in that. And some of them are heroes, some of them are not heroes, some of them are just people in like agencies or anything like that. And it's all gonna come back, and it's all gonna mean something, and we really are gonna be in for one hell of a ride. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home literally introduced the other Spider-Man into the MCU. Like, bro, there's no chill. Shang-Chi introduced a damn dragon into MCU continuity, bro. There is no way that we are going to be stopped. Like, there's nowhere to go but up type of vibe, and that's for real. Wakanda Forever was an amazing movie. I love the political interest. I love the political distrust. I love the fighting. I loved all of that. It was just really great to see how far they were going to go with it as well. What are they going to cause to happen? What is this going to mean? How is it going to end? I loved like the little bit of spark between Namor and Shuri. I know some people didn't really see that spark, but to me there was definitely a spark between the two of them. It definitely seemed like, when Shuri was like, "Keep me here with you," it was like she was saying like, "Keep me as your queen" type of vibe. You feel me? Like, let's marry our nations together. And I would like that. I'm not even gonna lie. I think I would be all the way for that if Namor and Shuri got together or something like that. You feel me? And that's how they brought some type of peace or something. I don't know. But I would really like that. I'm not gonna lie. And I also would love that if Black Panther, if T'Challa's son with Nakia, if T'Challa's son with Nakia actually did take a lot of those, take a lot of traits or take a lot of inspiration from the child that Black Panther and Storm had in that alternate universe or whatever. Like if T'Challa Jr. can take up a lot of those things and be able to hold that stuff in place and really go crazy, I think that would be amazing. I think it would be amazing, 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 and I think it would be a wonderful thing to kind of see shake up the MCU a little bit. We at this point, legitimately, every single hero has kids now that we met, except for Captain America, I think. And I think the only reason Cap probably ain't got no kids is, well, he might have kids actually, because I think Peggy did have kids with her husband, right? So, and I'm pretty sure the husband that she has is him. Like, he is the husband that she was talking about. Like, he is the dude that she was with when he comes back and talks to her in his movie. Like, that was him that she married, if I'm not mistaken. And I would love it, man. I just love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's get more of it. I love Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is definitely one of my favorite projects once again, and we're going to have to put that in S tier, baby. Oh, what the hell? Wait, what just happened? I don't know what I did. I broke something. Back. Okay. Woo. I was like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, so this is my official ranking for Phase 4. Let's go back through and look at these and see if I might want to change anything before we get up out of here for show. So let's see. In S tier, I have Loki, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness, and Wakanda Forever. Yeah. In A tier, I have What If, Eternals, Miss Marvel, and Werewolf by Night. I don't know if I want to keep What If in A tier. I think I might want to put that in B tier now. Because there were some parts that I was like, I don't think I like this. Nah, because the shit that they did in it was just so incredible. Nah, I gotta keep that A tier. The Guardians of the Multiverse, I think, yeah, like that all was solid, bro. I really like that. So A tier we got What If, Eternals, Miss Marvel, and Werewolf by Night. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with this. But it's really hard for me to think that I like What If as much as I like Miss Marvel and Eternals. I don't know. B tier, we got WandaVision, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk. Yep, I agree with that. C tier, we got The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yep, I agree with that completely. D tier, we got Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Thor. Yeah, I agree with this. Maybe I could do these in order from how much I like them. And if I was to do them in an order to how much I actually like each movie, I think it would be, or each one of these projects, I think it would be, yeah, I think it would be something like this. Yeah, I think it would be something like, maybe like this. Let's see. I don't know. No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness are really dope, and those might be tied at number 1. But I did like Multiverse of Madness a little bit more. just because of how badass Scarlet Witch was going through murdering people. But I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home had 3 Spider-Man, and they were all awesome. Nah, I think this is it. So 1, 2, yeah. So number 1, Multiverse of Madness, and then No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, Shang-Chi, and then Loki. Yeah, I think that's right. And then this goes Eternals, Miss Marvel, Werewolf by Night, What If. Yeah. And then we can go She-Hulk. No, we can go Moon Knight, WandaVision, She-Hulk. Yeah. And then Hawkeye, Black Widow, Thor. Or Thor, Black Widow. I really didn't like Black Widow, but I really didn't like Thor. I don't know. Both of those are like in tie for last place. I'm not gonna lie. Like I want to make an F tier, but I'm not. You know, like if I had an F tier, like those would probably both be in it, and then D tier would still just have Hawkeye in it. Yeah. Yeah, because I like Falcon and Winter Soldier more than Hawkeye. But did I? Yeah, I did. I like Falcon and Winter Soldier more than Hawkeye. Yeah, I did. So let's put that there. Nah, that got to stay in D tier. Yeah, I got to stay in D tier because I just kind of felt really played off of that. So, yeah. So here we go. This is my official ranking of Phase 4. We got my top 5 being Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Spider-Man No Way Home, Wakanda Forever, Shang-Chi, and Loki. Those are my top 5 Phase 4 projects. If it was just movies, then it would be Eternals in there instead of Loki if we were just talking about movies. But yeah, these are definitely my my top projects, my top projects. This is definitely how I would rank the projects all the way, like for sure. Download that bitch. Yep. Yeah. So this is it all the way. Yeah, let me know if you guys agree, disagree, how, like, what would you put, where would you put stuff differently than I did? I'm definitely curious and knowing about what you guys would say. And also let me know what your top 5, projects are for Phase 4. We might do this again with me and Battery, so we can like rank our stuff as Marvel Bros and like be like, dude, here's Marvel Bros stuff, and where we can have like more of a discussion on what we like and what we didn't like. But for the time being, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is how I feel about everything. And like I said, I am super interested in knowing about what you guys feel about these projects. I'm pretty secure about the way that I ranked everything. So let me know how you guys feel about it as well. I appreciate each and every one of you for chilling with me and vibing while we were talking about all of the stuff that we had to talk about when it comes to ranking these projects. I know I haven't been doing news flashes a lot, but like I've been saying, I've been really busy just trying to get stuff in order. Stuff is almost in order to where I'll be able to go live consistently. I hope you guys are excited and are able to come back for the watch party that we're going to be doing later. We are going to be doing a watch party for the Willow series, which is premiering tonight. I have not seen Willow 1, so that will be one of the things that I try and get done before. Well, not before, but before, later on tonight, because we're going to be watching that show starting at what time? 11:30 is when we're going to be tuning in for that. So make sure you guys come back so you can vibe with me. If you guys have seen the original Willow, I would definitely like to know what you guys think about that as well. So definitely come back tonight at 11:30 p.m. PST when we will be doing our watch party and review of Willow episodes 1 and 2, because episodes 1 and 2 are dropping tonight. So with all that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you drop a like on the video. You guys have definitely been awesome today. You guys have been awesome vibing with me here. I do appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Marvel Bros at Marvel Bros on all social media platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the stuff to stay up to date with all the latest news and movie reviews that we post daily. And also, don't forget to check me out and follow me on social media at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all of the content that I do and what I post. I should be streaming on my own channel later today, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitch to stay up to date with all of my stuff. You can also check out my esports org if you guys want to. I don't even think I have a command for Vane Esports. I don't think so. I'll make one though, and that'll be in there for next week or something, or tomorrow or tonight. Yeah. So, like I said, you guys definitely rock. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. And don't forget to stay awesome, stay nerdy, and stay marvelous. Excelsior.